Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So we've got a guest in studio, John from the El Camino schools here. How you doing, John?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Man, always a pleasure having you in here. What is new and happening at the El Camino school for your students, kids that are not necessarily kids, anybody who wants to wrap maybe their fingers around making and touring and tooling on guitars and other types of instruments. What's happening over there?
Well, we're doing great. Right now, we're in the midst of our spring 12-week trade course for the Guitar Tech Development. That's where we actually train the next generation of guitar techs. We're gearing up for the summer program. Today, they're learning about, strangely enough, they're learning about drum tech just to make them more well-rounded. But this week, they learned how to wind pickups, make cables, make pedals, amps, all kinds of stuff. So we're in the middle of that. But today, I'm here talking a little bit more about this great collaboration we've got with UCF.
Yeah.
And obviously
we're graduates, me and Tom.
Yeah, myself as well.
Yeah. Oh, well, we have to do the special handshake.
What year did you graduate, sir?
Early.
2004, maybe.
Oh, I was
a young man.
I would have graduated 2004, but I got into some
drugs.
I was going to say community service.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
How dare you?
Well, no one would have believed you.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
Why do you drop out of school? You don't drop out of school doing community. I loved community service so much I dropped out of school. You drop out of school because you get into drugs.
It was really radio that once I thought I was going to be a radio superstar.
That ego drug.
Then,
ego drug.
I stopped going to class as much. Anyway, sorry.
I should have graduated in 98, but I dropped out. I, too, got bit by the radio bug that Tom is talking about, and I didn't go back until 19 years later.
Worse than drugs.
Yeah, worse than drugs.
Radio.
Yeah.
Mainline the radio.
Worse for your life than drugs.
It is. At least drugs keep you skinny.
Same effects.
That's not nice.
Multiple divorces.
Yeah, but it tears your
lose
family
everything you
apart.
have. Yeah.
People don't like you. You're not a savory individual. You're not a good person.
Fatter
than most drug addicts, radio guys.
See, I only minored in radio and TV.
Okay.
So I majored in film, but I minored in radio and TV, so I was able to just get enough, but then be able to step away.
Gotcha.
So okay, let's talk a little bit about this. El Camino, Times, UCF. I see some guitars that you have here. So tell us a little bit about this collaboration you got running.
So at the end of last year, the last time I was in, we were talking about a little bit of a collaboration. We partnered with the Advanced Design Lab course, the Ad Lab course at UCF, and their final project, 28 of the students, led by Professor Rob Reedy, designed Stratocaster body styles for complete art guitars. They designed a guitar, and none of them were musicians, so we were tasked with them having full reign on collaborating and creating these instruments. 28 of them were produced, and we received them back to then make them into playable instruments. Right now, the neat thing about it is the collaboration is being shown at the DPAC, the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center, during the UCF Celebrates the Arts 2-week-long event. So during this amazing 2-week-long UCF event where they get to basically show off all the arts that have happened throughout the year, performance, design, all these kind of things. In the lobby, we have our exhibit up there. We have 28 of the students' guitars, as you can see. For those on Twitch, they can see it. For those at home, theater of the mind. But these students designed basically a Stratocaster body. One of the ones I brought today was turned into a flamingo. Another one was fully crocheted. A young lady got her grandma, and they crocheted this entire guitar.
The crocheted guitar is so metal, it's not even funny.
So cool.
That thing is so hard. That guitar... Could anybody, like, if you are an aspiring rocker and you want to be the toughest guy in town playing a guitar right now, you will go down to this exhibit and you will bid on this guitar and you will earn this. That is one of the coolest looking guitars I've ever seen. I've never thought to throwing straight crochet on top of it. It's so dope.
And there's a plethora. Somebody carved out ribs, like a rib cage in it. We got to put car parts in it. So there's a lot of different guitars. They're all on the exhibit for the next from the 5th to the 16th. So the exhibit goes to the 16th at Dr. Phillips. And all these guitars, we are selling all of them for $500 a piece, with proceeds going to benefit the visual arts department at UCF and El Camino School. So it's a quasi fundraiser for us to help keep the lights on and do our thing. UCF maybe needs the money a little bit less than we do,
sure,
but we're splitting the proceeds, and we're getting to show off where art and function kind of meet, because like I said, they didn't play instruments, so they only looked at it from an art and design project, and then we made them all functional and playable guitars. So every guitar that's there is completely playable. Even one has a dragon that sticks on the headstock, so when it's sitting on your stand, it's literally just this beautiful dragon that was made that can be taken off to play. Some are a little bit more playable and functional than others.
Sure.
The neat thing about like this flamingo one, that if people can see, is that when we started out, I told them how much I dislike the Stratocaster body style, and so this was actually started off as a Stratocaster, but she cut the wings off, made the neck into a flamingo head. So a lot of really unique, creative UCF students, as all of us were at one point in our lives, and it's a great collaboration for us to promote and hopefully raise a little bit of money and awareness.
Out of all the instruments, are guitars most used as art pieces for people to hang on their walls? Because
you don't see any people hanging up their flutes.
yeah.
You don't see the
drum heads.
Drum head,
But guitars definitely beat out drum
For
heads
sure.
that I've seen people. I mean, Daniel.
We have both a guitar and a drum head in this studio, and the guitar is from Matt Hafey of Trivium, and that is definitely more art than the drum head is just Smoking Pope saying, hey, we don't know who you are, here's our signature.
It's more of I guess the drum head, like autograph wise, like it's a
But that's not art.
thing.
That's
But not as art, yeah.
I
Just
don't
playing
look
an
at that as
autograph.
art.
So
This is art. Like, I'm seriously in love with both of these guitars.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
really cool.
And then I'm curious to, like, could you make a guitar out of anything? Like, because all it needs is the.
Could you
like
make a guitar out of me, Tom?
Could
Could you play me like one of your guitars? If I laid in your arms, could you strum my ding dong like a guitar?
Well, and I think
human guitar.
Some would sound better or worse than others, but now you got to think it all started with cigar box guitars, and we have a
I
gentleman.
have one, yeah.
We have a gentleman coming to teach the students about making cigar box guitars.
Sweet.
So it kind of started off in that, taking a cigar box and a neck and running some strings. But then we have another friend, Cody Henderson, made a completely composite guitar. So now people are starting to get really creative with some of the functionality and the materials. Obviously, the wood, which is the tried and true, different types of wood, but they have different resonance. So obviously a wood guitar is probably going to sound a little bit better than something that's made out of, Rain Song makes one, I believe, out of like carbon fiber.
There's a guy that made a concrete guitar on YouTube that I follow.
Okay.
There's a guy that took colored pencils and he made them into a brick, and then he tooled a Strat out of colored pencils and resin just to make it look wild. There's guys on YouTube, if you search make a guitar out of a door, there's a guy that does it.
Yeah.
And now that you can do it in composite, like if you got a composite mold, I literally saw a guy the other day, he put chicken nuggets in a composite mold, and then he just put the epoxy or the resin in there. And I've seen one with Legos. So
they tool it down, they put it on the lathe, and then they cut it all out, and then it's a chicken nugget guitar. It's disgusting. It's horrifying, but it's there. It's not as good as this crocheted one.
it's better than the calories he would have gotten by eating all the chicken nuggets.
True,
so,
but this crocheted one, I feel like that one's cool and weird, but this one, like, I feel like somebody and their grandma just had to bust their ass to make that look that rad. And if you're familiar with, and John and I were talking a little bit off air about this, there's a particular bass player that I like. He did you've heard me talk about Thundercat. He's a musician. He's played with Suicidal Tendencies. He's just an amazingly weird and eccentric bass player and composer and musician, and he loves like crocheted items. He wears like his whole entire outfits will be made of crocheted outfits. There's Mono Neon's another guy that you'll see that's an artist who this crocheted kind of like this George Clinton space funk vibe going on.
Well, I think it's so many guitarists. I mean, again, they're not many of them that aren't singing. They want to show off as much as they can. They're artists themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves Eric Clapton, but they love that black and white Strat. It's like it's a black and white Strat. I know that it's world famous and it's part of the annals of history, but in a modern generation, if you're going to play it, why not play one that looks like a flamingo and turn heads and get that kind of extra push to the audience?
I've always liked the crazier guitars better. So if you're going to play, the ones that stick out in my brain, you got Zakk Wylde with the bullseye, the black and white. You've got Dimebag, who was playing, a Flying V with lightning all over it. You've got Van Halen, the iconic red and white.
We even have a guy for the Bloody Jug Band. We have a friend, Andrew Rocker. He's a painter and teacher at the school. He's doing a coffin-shaped electric guitar for us, and it's going to have red strings and it's going to be shaped like a coffin. And so if it could be anything, why not have fun with it if you have the resources or if you're just crazy enough to do it?
Yeah.
So, speaking of guitars, let's talk Lenny Kravitz for a second.
All right.
I have this
Are
theory
we
that I
gonna pull
just
up the
came up
video
with.
where his pants explode?
Yes,
No.
pull it up.
Because if
How do you bust out of leather pants?
have you ever seen Lenny Kravitz bust out of the leather pants?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
You know
so
what?
good.
Normally, I wouldn't tell people to Google this, but it's so damn impressive, that man's body. When it explodes, you're like, you're just like,
There it is.
It's like America.
Or was it pre-ripped, like the Hulk Hogan gimmick?
I don't think
did
so.
you pre-rip the shirt?
Sam would. Okay, let me call in an expert.
Did he
I don't
did
think
he-
so. I think it was
Yeah.
just like Lil Nas X, where he
Yeah.
went down the pole, it's
Kabam!
split wide open.
Yeah.
You gotta grab the boys.
Yes,
right?
Tom, Lenny Kravitz.
So Lenny Kravitz, and I came up with this theory right now, and John kind of falls
Great.
into
Just
this.
right now.
On the spot theory.
yeah, I love all the spot theories.
So I was like, Crystal was watching like a replay of the Grammys, right? And just watching that. She just fast forward to the performances.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
he was on that one
Yes.
performance. Yes.
And so, and I'm like looking at TikTok, and then I'm looking up at every once in a
Man,
while.
you're addicted, aren't you?
This guy's so far into the top.
There's a new video every
every second.
It's
Yeah.
infinite. It doesn't go back to the beginning. It never stops.
Brand new
I
content.
like that John is as honestly amazed at watching you get so excited about TikTok.
So anyway, I look up and Lenny Kravitz is walking on stage, and then I'm like, he looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Do you know how old Lenny
Amazing.
Kravitz is? He is 81 years old.
Yeah.
He's 57.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is
And
insane.
I'm not joking. Please look it up on the internet.
The genetics in that family, it's not fair.
It
He looks
isn't.
exactly the
Everybody
same.
in the family is
Beautiful.
beautiful. If you look at his feet, I think on his left foot, it says "Black Don't Crack" trademark. I think it's right. It's on there.
So
Because he's patient zero.
So what's the theory, Tom?
That guy
okay,
is
we gotta get to the
literally-
theory.
It all comes
He's
around. Hold
so
on.
smooth.
Guitar players don't age. Is
So
that the theory?
no.
Keith Richards ages. He's just still alive.
He just doesn't die.
Yeah, he's alive.
Anyway, he looks exactly the same that he did 20 years ago. I'm not joking, to the point where you cannot. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between 20 years ago Lenny Kravitz
Yeah.
and if you showed me a bunch of
I saw
pictures, I couldn't tell. Like, 20 years ago
Yeah.
to today.
I saw him in Hunger Games. I thought he was 21 years
Yeah.
old.
So I started
That guy's
diving.
crazy.
Now, of course, like, we've talked about this before, the black don't crack theory, and that you just have good skin and you just look
Maybe
young for a long
it's
time.
how he takes care of himself. Does he exercise and
Yeah, I'm sure it's that.
Hydrate.
But there's more than that.
oil of Olay?
I started looking at Lenny Kravitz, and I'm like, I only see Lenny Kravitz with giant aviator sunglasses, right?
All of the ages underneath his eyes. If he takes the sunglasses on, that man's got 100-year-old eyeballs.
Some stubble, like it's all, he's never clean shaven. He's always got like a little bit of stubble, and he's got the same dreads he's always had,
Yeah.
right? So
he looks like the guy who had the tiger in Walking Dead.
So
He
he.
hasn't had dreadlocks in a while.
I thought. Well, anyway, anyone I met
I think you're doing a Mandela effect.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing
yeah,
old
right.
Lenny. It's fine.
Okay,
that's
I'm-
fine. You're
well-
doing Are You Gonna Go My Way, not American Woman.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Anyway, so I'm just saying.
Are you saying his fashion choices have made him stay looking young?
Well,
Well,
he's
he-
always wearing the scars,
Well,
the
he
leather.
froze himself in the 70s. Of course
So
he
is-
looks young.
Yeah.
He looks like
Well, Steve Tyler wears a bunch of scarves and he looks like an old witch.
But yeah, you're right.
And his feet are
But
like
Steve-
falcon
Gnarly.
feet. They're
But
like falcon feet.
He doesn't have giant glasses and the same hair
He
that I
wears
remember.
giant glasses.
Eh,
He wears
well,
like old Mimo glasses.
Well, Steven
Also-
Tyler, Steven Tyler looks like everybody's Jewish grandma going up.
It's the exact opposite of
He
Lenny
looks like
Kravitz.
going up to 2 J's to get a sandwich.
So my point being, and here comes my theory, John,
Here we
is
go.
that he has a look that he stuck with for 20 years, and so that
It looks
also.
like Tim Meadows, the ladies' man.
so that also helps.
what he looks like.
Where it's like, he hasn't changed. Where really it's his look hasn't changed. So
We've
therefore-
changed around him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
stayed the same.
So, John, this goes back to you. Is you have a look that if you if you're frozen in time right now for 20 years later, I'll be like, John looks exactly the same.
He does,
If
though.
you-
He looks like a rock and roll guy.
But you have to stick with because you have the perfect, I guess it's
Are
everybody.
you calling him Johnny Kravitz?
No. I'm saying, I don't have this. In 20 years, John, I'm going to look, people are going to be like, oh my God, you've aged horribly.
Well, you're in radio.
You're just going to look like Ron White.
But it's like, you have a look, you got a bald head and a giant goatee. And
he
then
knows what he looks like.
20 years from now, though, if you stick with exactly, I'm going to look at you, John, and be like, "Oh, John, it looks amazing. He looks like you did
Because
20
he has
years
a
ago."
rock look.
He's stepping on that beard now, though. But that beard,
Are you letting it go? Is it continuing? It's never been trimmed?
never.
Okay.
Since my child's been born. Yeah, I just keep letting it go.
I like that.
So I'll be peeing on it by then.
Yeah,
But it'll
that's
be,
fine.
but short of that, you know.
Just wrap it around there and lift it up.
I'm not going to get any more hair, so I'm going to try to stick as close.
You do need to adopt sunglasses because that helps Kravitz with looking young this whole time because he doesn't show anybody's eyes.
And his hands. I feel like he's got to wear gloves because I can look at people's hands and go, ew,
But
old.
Daniel has a little bit of this too because if you don't change your look in 20 years, people will look at you in 20 years and be like, "Oh, you look great. You look like you did 20 years
like
ago."
Ken Block. He's like an old Ken Block.
But that's because I think people then end up evolving into a different look, and then they look different, and then they're like, "Oh, well, this guy aged." Anyway, so I was like,
Well, I
good for you,
can't
John.
cut the beard now because I think that all my street cred or just the interactions, nobody would know who I was anymore, and my network is one of the things I lean on really heavy.
It does weave you into
if
the
I-
music
If
community.
I showed up just to a random event, I was like, "Hey, this is Clean Shaven John
It's not gonna work.
from 1998." I think that it might be different. People go, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
So-
I mean, we know each other. I mean, we're not like best friends or anything. I would say we're friends and acquaintances, right? Like, but if you cut your beard, I honestly would be mad at you. I would. I get mad at guys when they cut their hair. Like when we have friends that have like really long.
change
what if I
your look.
donate it to Love of Law?
I'd feel better about if you did donate it. I'd feel better, but I'd be like, no. I always tell. I'm like, why'd you cut it? No, why?
I would be like, "Ew, some kid's got John's beard on her head."
On her head. I like you did that. That was a weird flex.
I'm sorry.
My God.
You should not make fun
This
of
treasure
Macho
troll has cancer.
Anyway,
That's a terrible thing to say.
is Lenny Kravitz
We're doing a lot of bad here.
We are.
I know, that's what we're
You don't
doing.
delete that part. Just delete it.
Is he
This
ever
is digital, right? You can delete it.
Okay, are we going to see 87-year-old Lenny Kravitz?
Yes.
And he's going to...
Hunger Games.
Glasses are bigger now.
But
Yeah, bigger and better.
are we going to say, like, "Oh, he's definitely hit a wall," or is he going to just die
I don't think he
looking
can
like
hit
that?
a wall because he only wears bell bottoms and no shirt. There's no wall there. There's
Right.
nothing. I don't even know what it is.
Although...
He's suspended in 1978.
It does seem like people turn the corner, though. I was just watching WrestleMania just play the other night. I was watching some of it, and Vince McMahon comes out, and Vince looked really good for a long time, and now he looks like he's a ballooned up corpse. And so I do
well,
think
that's all
that
those
you know.
roids. Your
I was
skin.
gonna say, I
the
think that's
puff-
all the.
Yeah, well,
But I
the
do think you turn that
GHB
corner,
and the
you know.
testosterone treatment, it puffs you out.
I'm going for that puff on. I gotta get my physical tomorrow, and I'm going for the puff, straight puff.
Swole.
Swolled up.
There are two things you can't run from. In women, it's old lady hands. It's impossible.
My wife's
And-
getting them too, with that thin skin where she gets purple bruises all over. I'm
my
like, God
God.
damn, you got purple bruises all over. You dying?
And in men, and I saw it in Lenny Kravitz because when he was performing, he was like walking down the stage. or
Oh,
whatever.
flat butt.
No, old man legs. He
Oh,
has
sticks. He's got the sticks.
He
Oh,
has
he's
old,
skipping leg day.
Yeah. Well, everybody gets old man legs. Like your muscles start receding,
Atrophy,
or-
yeah.
atrophy, and then so
We're not using them as much.
Yeah. He has old man legs.
I
'cause
bet
he
you.
got-
I bet you he can't blow his ding dong out anymore because if he gets down there, he can't get back up.
He's got more room in the leather pants. than
He
used
does.
to.
He does.
Everybody gets skinny old man legs. Although I started early, and
Well,
so
you have
then-
adult onset old man legs.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
I
Sam, is what you put in the chat room, is that absolutely
Yeah,
correct?
I'm-
You've confirmed that?
Yeah, and menshealth.com, they did a whole interview with him, and there's like a video part to it as well.
We're gonna have to deep dive
He's living
this.
in an Airstream trailer in the Bahamas.
right now.
Right? Well,
Yeah,
well, this
currently,
was in
yeah.
2020,
Yeah, he's
but
making his eggs right now.
October of 2020 is when this article came out, and he's a vegan. He works out 5 to 6 times a week. He has his own garden.
Well, see, that's what none of us are doing.
Yeah,
that.
none of us are doing that.
Well, I don't have the money to do
so we're
that.
all going to look poor.
You gotta have money to live like a slob. You got to. You gotta have like.
Well,
if
in the
I wanted an
Bahamas-
Airstream in the Bahamas and work out all the time, and that's all I do is work out and pick in my garden, I'd need to be a millionaire.
Yeah, and he's living in the good part of
Right,
Bahamas.
right.
You don't just
Yeah,
park
yeah.
your Airstream in the middle of like Kingston,
then-
Jamaica, like downtown. You're like, oh, I'm living here now.
Yeah. They're gonna steal your fruit.
It's just not gonna happen like
Anyway,
that.
sorry, John. John, so real quick, where can everybody find all the information on this upcoming event?
So if you go on Google, you can search for UCF Celebrates the Arts. All the information about all their exhibits are on there. Some of them are ticketed, so some of them do cost money and have certain time constraints. Ours is a ongoing exhibition, and all you need to do to be able to see it or any of the ongoing exhibitions is print out a visual arts pass. There's a link right on the website, and it'll give you free free entry to the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center. Nice. So then you can walk around and see all of that. Again, if you want to, which I would recommend you do, but if you want to see some of the actual performances and other things that are going on, there's a full schedule on there. But our guitars will be up until the 16th.
Nice.
We'll also be hanging out on the 16th. Some of my staff and I will be there. It's kind of a closing night event. And any of the guitars you see, either online or at the actual exhibit, if you're interested in purchasing them, you can call the school at 407-734-5129. We're not really supposed to be selling them while we're at the facility, so we're actually taking them back after the 16th. They're all going to stay up throughout the entire course, and then we're going to bring them back to a final setup to make sure that you're getting the most playable instrument possible. They're going for $500 a piece, and like I said, all proceeds are going to help both the visual arts department at UCF and El Camino School. Right now we're forging ahead, but every little bit helps with a new business coming out of COVID and all the other.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
I'm glad, John. I mean, people don't realize how hard it is, especially like when your small business is education, basically. You are trying to educate people on a trade,
and you're not an entity that's propped up by really anybody other than just yourself.
Well, and last time I was here off air, we were talking about marketing and all this other stuff and the money it takes.
It's hard.
Well, at the end of the year, marketing dollars kind of ran out, and I said, "Oh my gosh, how are we going to fill these courses?" And now we've completely stopped marketing actively on social media and all this other stuff, and our courses are filling up more than ever. We had a fully sold out songwriter or a guitar setup class last weekend.
Love it.
Guy drove all the way from Miami to take the course. So we've peeled back a lot, taken a few steps back to take hopefully a couple miles forward.
But you guys offer a value.
But the differentiator, and that's why even some things like the music lessons and other things we were doing, we've kind of peeled that back, because the real differentiator and the thing that people are going to drive multiple hours or states to come to is the trade-based programs that we have.
Yeah.
So we've kind of put a lot of the other stuff on hold and really laser beam focus. Last time when you guys would ask, "Hey, tell me about El Camino School," it was, "Well, let me tell you about all the 19 things we do." Now we're a music-based trade school, and we train guitar techs and empower hobbyists to learn more about their instruments.
And if you think about it too, live music and live shows and performances they're going to only get bigger. Right now, you sent me that list of people can't even see, people are out and touring.
Too many shows.
And
everybody's touring right now.
Yeah, and that's the way artists make money, and that's the way they're going to continue to make money, because the internet has diluted everything. There's no CD money really anymore. And so it's like
those
so
type
the
of,
job is
well,
secured.
and obviously right after we opened, we hit COVID, and it was tours went away, and we're a school training guitar technicians and touring guitar techs. So
that was rough.
That was crazy. And we built a lot of relationships with guitar manufacturers like Dean Guitars and Gold Tone. So now there's other outlets for them as well. But now the tours are coming back, like Sam just said. You got to think in those 2 years. I think that Judas Priest is doing their 50th anniversary tour 2 years later than it should have been. So everybody's trying to tour at the same time right now, and there's only so many guitar techs out there. A lot of the old guard kind of went away during the gap. So there's more of a need now than ever before, and so right now guitar techs are needed because everybody's doubling and tripling touring. And
I saw one working his ass off when I went to see John Mayer, who is arguably, I personally believe he will be the best guitarist I will ever see live. It's just, I don't know if I'm ever going to find somebody else that talented that I will have 8th row seats watching this dude noodle on a guitar. His guitar tech was a little guy younger than me, looked like a guy, could have been a guy that came through your school, just a little guy that all dressed in black, and this man ran John Mayer no less than 20, 25 different guitars, and he was back there busting his ass, setting up every Martin with new strings, going there, tuning it, running it out to everybody else on the stage. He was running basses to the bass player, just busting Pino Palladino. He's running the bass over to him. You're getting to work with the best of the best. That guy had to have been paid handsomely. I've never seen somebody work that hard on a stage in my life.
And, not to go this route, but could you imagine if you are a young 25-year-old guitar tech for John Mayer, just the amount of residual...
I knew it.
How do you know what
I will say.
How
that,
do you know? I was going to say catering.
Sam, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it, and we'll talk about this.
He gets all the leftovers at craft service.
Maybe on
Yeah,
Friday.
that's it.
Maybe on Friday we'll talk about this. But I was seated to the right of the stage because I wanted a way out. If I had to go to the bathroom, and that was the stage. That was stage. I guess it would be stage left, and it was the area of where all the It was 50 girls, 75 girls. And guys, the dudes,
anybody.
It was literally
the guy's sexual.
It didn't matter.
Dynamo.
It was non-binary.
I don't know that
They,
he's the
them,
dynamo.
he, she, whatever you were. If you were attractive and liked them, you lined up there with a chance to go backstage.
Well, so to say-
it was insanity.
So I think to say, hey, I set up John Mayer's guitar.
No,
you
works.
touched that? You've touched his
Right.
guitars? He's busy. What's your name, Steve?
That will work. I'm just like 100%. They'll be like, hey, I'll just do
Well, I'll say this. I'll leave you with this. I saw a lady in a flashing pink flower crown go backstage because she was really hot, and she disappeared into a seat of security.
Well,
and
Sam,
I wasn't allowed.
We
back
could ask
there.
Sam, but who's the more attractive, the drummer or maybe the guitar tech? I mean, it's like it's like
Actually, that night it would have been the guitar tech. He
Yeah.
was a very attractive, looks like a very young, fit Puerto Rican man. And he was running his ass off, man.
I'm just saying, man. Like, imagine
No,
the
it was
tour
crazy.
of that. Like, you just one city to the next.
was crazy.
Okay.
Well, we don't build that into our when I'm soliciting the.
That's not in the course.
When I'm soliciting the parents and I'm soliciting the thing, we did go to one time. We went to Bishop Moore though, and I was talking to their career counselor, and I was talking about being a roadie and this kind of stuff, and he thought I was talking about being a groupie, and he goes, "Hey man, I appreciate you coming, but I don't think I can sell this to the parents." And I go, "I don't understand what you're talking about." And he thought I was training groupies, So that's going to be a future course.
I can run that course for you. Like, how to get backstage.
I'd love to know some of the techniques you would give out.
Well, it's
Trade secrets. These are
Right. You got to pay for it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what you
gonna
got
get
to
that
do.
away from me.
I know what you have to do.
I know, and you know.
Yeah, we all know
Yeah,
what you
and
have
And
to
why
do.
do we have to take your class?
No, hold on. Because you need somebody to take the envelope of money, look you in the eye, give you the wink, and say,
Yeah.
this will be our secret.
Yeah.
You never look at yourself the same way again.
Because you got to get back there first. Anyway.
Back to the Future.
John, thanks so much for coming by. And where can people find all the information about the El Camino School?
ElCaminoSchool.com. Also, we're on the interweb, El Camino School USA on Instagram and Facebook. And like I said, if you want to come see the exhibit or find out more about this specific exhibit, UCF Celebrates the Arts website, and they do have a full list of events and different things going on, as well as the visual arts pass that you need to get free entry into DPAC to be able to view this great exhibit. Designed by 28 Ad Lab students at UCF, all beautiful, all for sale, and a great collaboration for El Camino and UCF to be able to do this.
Great. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and this is awesome because I love both of these guys. You'll never find guests that I love more than these two people. They're on our couch. They're fellow broadcasters, brothers in radio, these two sitting on our couch. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as the official storyteller of the Sheriff's Department. It is our good friend, Mr. John Bustecker.
Hey.
And you know him. He's got a TV show. We're going to pick his brain about that.
Oh.
This guy's all over town doing everything. Today, he's wall-to-wall denim like a Jay Leno. Brendan O'Connor,
He's gay
Bungalower.
Leno. How dare you?
Gay Leno! Gay Leno's fantastic.
Heard about you. Heard
You know,
about
that's impressive.
Yeah. Have you heard about this? Heard about this? Everything.
How you guys doing?
I'm great.
I'm good.
What
Did
an
you know we
intro.
were two different people? Because I don't think we've ever been in the same room together
Like
here at Tom and
Pokeroo.
Dan.
I thought it was all an act, and you were playing both parts.
Okay, all right.
I'm John in drag.
So, I saw the book come out, and then
Well, it's been out.
no, but
Just for a week, 100 things to do
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Orlando
No,
before
no,
you
but
die.
the
this
new
book
edition.
has been
The
out.
new edition.
No,
Yeah.
this book has been out.
Just
you know,
a-
it's
no,
kind of
just a
like
few weeks.
It's kind of like when Eddie Money re-releases Two Tickets to Paradise for the 9th time. I feel like it's like, oh, it's remastered.
There's
now
a
from the-
cowbell.
This is from the original tape.
Oh, is this 3 Tickets to Paradise?
We used a few original tapes on this one.
Use the original tapes.
Yeah, but we got some new tapes.
And then
too.
you brought in your co-author. Now, was it a little weird? Because because a lot of, if you're
I
just now
touched
tuning in, you may not know what we're talking about. John Bustecker has had a book. This is the 3rd edition that he's put out called 100 Things to Do in Orlando Before You Die. And this is, I'm holding it right now. You can see it live on Twitch, twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive.
And you could go to 100thingsorlando.com and buy it right now.
Yeah, you can buy it right now. And then you brought in a young, heavy hitter in Brenden O'Connor to come in and be your, is he co-author?
He's co-author, yes.
Did you really come in there and start shaking things up? Or
I
you're
did.
like,
I'll do this, but let's get rid of all this.
yeah. Get all this garbage. Let's get all this nerd ass out of here. And let's do some fun stuff. We're going to take some drugs. We're going to do some partying. We're going to do some poppers.
I think they took out some of my drug references.
Probably,
Oh, no.
Like
yeah,
Lou
yeah,
Gardens.
yeah.
I'm like, Lou Gardens,
Yeah, we're
best
gonna do
place to puff and go.
Yeah, it is. It is. Those are the facts people need. I puff and go there all the time.
Oh, did I miss our plant sale?
Oh, dude,
I think I
I'm
missed
puffing
it.
all over there.
You did miss. Just go over there and take a few plants. They're not going to miss a few
Hey,
of them.
when you're
No.
puffing, you might do that. I've done it before.
If you remember, you're allowed to do that.
Really?
Did you know that?
Well, I live in the city. Or if you, what about
No,
if you live in
can't
the
just,
city?
you can't just like be breaking off plants at Lou
Why
Gardens.
not? God's
Because then if
plants.
everybody does,
Now I'm with you.
I thought that if Bus is
No.
a cop and he's advocating stealing.
No, you got to take the.
They'll grow back.
I took a gardening course there one time, and then you're
Oh
allowed.
man, I wish I could have been there for that.
He never.
It was when me and my wife were trying to reconnect before we got a
I
divorce.
He's never talked about this. In fact, I was told not to bring that up, but apparently the lid's off of this one
Wait,
now.
what did you do? Were you like potting plants
tomatoes.
together? Or?
His wife
Strawberries.
signed him up for it. He went there sight sort of unseen. I'm
Uh-huh.
sure he got loaded before he got there, and he hated the whole time.
No, that was before I was into plants, which I was mad at because we actually got to go walk through after, and they let you get cuttings, and I didn't know what to do with them, so I was like,
stuck
I
them in your
don't
pocket.
know. Then they said that
hold this, wife.
They got wilted in the car. I didn't know nothing.
You left him in the car.
I was mad.
Wait,
like,
you didn't know that you had to put plants in water as an adult?
I didn't know how the time
He
frame.
put him in his glove box.
He's like, they'll grow here.
Right,
Put him in the CD changer.
I should have had a damp paper towel. Anyway,
Yeah, always carry a damn paper towel. Everywhere I go, I'm carrying a damn paper towel. Right now, it's in the bottom of my pants.
Sometimes I'm surprised. What is this?
Ooh, it's a note.
So let's talk about the book. This is the 3rd edition of 100 Things to Do in Orlando Before You Die.
This is the Brenden edition. Now with Brenden. It's 100 things to do in Orlando before you die. Now with Brenden O'Connor.
So is this a new 100 things, or is just this a couple?
gonna be all
It's an
new.
updated 100 thing.
How
did
many
you-
things are new? Are there like, is it like 15 new things?
Yeah, it's at least I think 60 of them.
Yeah, at least 60.
Oh, what
there-
about the old 60s?
Well, there's
you
a few
can leave
things-
some stuff on there,
Well,
like
some things-
rolling a bum, peeing behind Church Street Station, Gertrude's Wall.
Yeah.
That's one. You got to
They
pee
press
back.
one.
Well,
They
certain
pressure
things
wash
close.
every day there.
Certain things close down. You got to take those out. Some new things.
What
that you
closed
know.
down? Disney Quest. Best thing in Orlando.
Virgin Megastore, no longer.
Now, can we
I got trespassed from there.
tell which ones that you have put in?
Oh, I
and
know we
which ones
can.
that Brendan has
You
put
can
in.
try.
One is fun, one is dumb. Dumb and fun.
Let's play the game.
Yeah.
Because I was just flipping through the book, you know, right
this
before
is
the
fun.
show, and I landed on number 37,
Okay.
which I feel like this is a John Bustecker nerd thing because number 37, take a stroll at Old Town.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's bus approved 100%. Brendan, there's no way Brendan even touched that page.
now,
I don't think Brendan's even been to Old Town, right?
No, my God.
I
Old Town
actually have
Road,
never
maybe.
been to
Yeah.
Old
yeah, because if he had, I feel like he
Sure
would
wouldn't write it down.
he would have put his foot down.
Yeah, he would. You could
What are you talking about? They got a classic car show every Saturday.
right up Brendan's alley.
They've got
You ride that Ferris wheel that they have there.
No, all those things are kind of sketchy.
I think they
now,
have an
right?
A&W that's probably been there for 30
I
years.
don't.
It's the only A&W.
There's a Froggers there where you can get your own draft beer.
Oh, that's right. You can get that old-timey Western photo
That's
there.
the one
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I
Hold
am
on a
very
second. There's a
familiar with.
Froggers there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, last time
That sounds pretty awesome,
What about
doesn't it?
Sun on the Beach?
I think that's still there.
yeah, still there.
Sun on the Beach. Man, I think I fingered people at Sun on the Beach. I'm sorry. It
With
just needed to be
permission?
said.
But that was consent. descent.
Oh yeah, of course.
okay,
Yeah.
Not like a ninja.
No.
Okay.
My fingers are way too.
That's how we met.
That was plural too. You said people.
Yeah, well, the memory's foggy.
Last time I was
10
at
fingers.
Old Town, getting an old timey picture with me and my wife,
no.
and then I think the boys were like, Max was 14 months old, and Tommy was
I
like,
remember this.
Oh, yeah, and
you were gonna do your Christmas card. then.
yes, and then
Was
so
this like a role play thing?
no,
Aren't you guys going for like Westworld?
yes,
Yeah.
we were big into Westworld at the time.
Look at how shocked they are.
So I wanted my wife to
Jack 'em up.
I'm sorry, I'm rattled because Brendan's here.
I wanted to Photoshop her nude, sitting like Westworld,
Yeah.
and then me and my sons were cowboys, and she was.
And there's like a scientist taking the back of her head off with wires hanging out.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Westworld. It was one time-
Yeah, nothing says Christmas and our Lord and Savior's birthday like Westworld.
But you said you wanted to. Did you do it?
It was, well, we did the picture.
follow-through
but
around these parts is-
I'm bad at the follow through. Also, it was 2016, a different time.
Yeah, it really was.
So
So wait a minute. It's good enough
Huh?
for you to go to Old Town and do this, but
He
when
didn't
I
want
tell
to.
people to go,
He was on a mission. He was
bad?
on a mission.
well, it was what I discovered while I was doing this,
Yes.
Okay.
taking my
Also-
stroll through Old Town, which
There are
was
limited facilities to go and wear musty cowboy clothing and get your photo done
Yeah.
mediocre style.
It's true.
which
Yeah.
before
Limited resources.
we got the old timey photo, which apparently you could do that on Instagram. Like you could just do it at home.
Yeah, but you don't have the props for
Here's a
it.
filter.
Yeah, well, I mean, one trip to Walmart, you could have had everything for less money
Anyway,
than you spent
I
at the
guarantee you have those costumes now at your house, though. You can't tell me you don't have a kinky cowboy costume sitting in the closet waiting.
Do you know the trick to that where they make
I'm not
money?
that fun,
And this
Brendan.
is true because I know because I went there and we got some of these done for free, I think, one time. They sell you that big wooden frame that has like the tooled tree on it and like it's an ornate wooden frame. That's how they make their money. Everything else is just garbage.
Where else can you pay $5 to watch a man get fake executed?
Oh, yeah.
They also have a magic shop.
They do.
They do have a magic shop.
They do. It'll make
Sounds
your
like an
money.
awesome
They
place.
have their
Spend
own
an
haunted-
afternoon.
They have their own haunted house.
So
That whole place is a haunted house, man. It's
Their
got-
Halloween stuff, their haunted houses, I hear, are really scary.
I heard it. Well, I
It
did not
is
go in. I
because
backed out.
everybody in Kissimmee is a ghost of what they should have been. They're a ghost of what they should have been. If you live in Kissimmee, you're literally you should know you did not reach maximum potential.
no.
So my kids, they're like, I'm thirsty. I want water. I'm like, God.
I don't have water here. It's only orange soda. You know that. You know that.
So we walked into an establishment in the middle. It was an open air establishment, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" And something catches my eye, and I look over, and it is a cigarette vending machine with. So I have a picture proof of this. I took pictures. I made a
saw it.
post. It has cigarettes in that,
Yes.
and candy.
Whoa.
No,
That's
Damn
illegal.
it.
That's
No.
illegal.
Dad side, kid side.
You can't do that. You
Dad
can't.
side, kid side.
There are no rules in Kissimmee.
It's Old Town.
Yeah, it's Old Town.
It's Old Town.
No
Then,
rules.
not only that, I walk up to get some water for my children, and I look, and on the counter is not only gator heads, but gator hands.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That are business card holders. and it's a real gator
I
hand.
thought
Trust
they use
me.
every part of the gator.
Yeah.
If you live in Oklahoma, that is Florida to you right there. All of that stuff.
100%.
So,
Wrong.
So that's
you know,
an awesome one.
37
Yeah.
Yeah.
37.
Thanks for the endorsement.
All I heard was a
Tom
long
approved.
list of amazing things to do in
Right?
Old Town.
Hey, listen. I'm
Look at
just
the
saying.
memories you have.
I like this one.
That
Not-
was 2016. Don't know what COVID did to it or whatever, but I imagine didn't up.
I think
did not help it.
It's
Anyway.
this is
tumbleweeds.
my-
It's just tumbleweeds. It's all.
This is my favorite. Number 94.
Oh,
Hang 10 at Ron John Surf Shop.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Ron
That's a good
Johnson.
one.
Yeah,
That's a
that's,
good one.
that's something you got to do. You got to check that one off.
I prefer going to Ron John's over a Old Town any day.
Ron John's is fun. It's huge. If you've never been there, it's two stories.
That's fun spot. It's
And they
huge.
have that
Yeah, you can't
statue
say
of
that.
Kelly Slater that
They
you
sure
can go
do.
and touch and
Is it
molest.
Kelly with hair or Kelly bald?
I think he has hair because he's younger in that statue.
Because Kelly has been bald for, I want
No,
to say,
he's
the last
bald.
25 years.
Yeah, it's bald.
It's
been a
it
while.
could be- you could tell people it's Avatar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The Last
yeah.
Airbender.
Yeah, yeah.
Got you. I'm with you.
Now,
I feel like you and I should have been pulled into this as co-authors.
How many authors? I can't fit any more names on the cover.
We don't want. No. Silent
Ghostwriter.
part. Yeah,
Okay.
Ghostwriters.
All right.
Ghostwriters. Yeah, just like Kissimmee
That could be the
Dreams.
4th edition.
no,
We would. I
my
like
name's got to be on there. That's how I put my foot down there.
I just don't. What would you guys suggest that we add to this book?
I mean, I haven't read the whole thing.
I'm sure the things that you pick aren't in the book.
What are your top 3 things in Orlando to do? Tom?
Yeah. Before you
Okay.
die.
I like going to Walmart. I like
Which
that.
Walmart though?
I hit them all. I like them all. These guys are very anti-Walmart, so
Walmart's terrible.
I love Walmart. I absolutely
Yeah, there's
love
one
it.
cashier that works for the whole entire company.
Yeah, I love it.
Now, I did this on my birthday last year.
Oh, that was Hedonism 3.
no.
Yeah, that was a
And
little weird.
I don't know if it's in the book or not, but
Is that when you guys made out for the first time?
I think is take a mud walk to the old shell mound on Hontoon Island.
Take a mud walk to the old shell mound.
Because I don't know if it's in there or not, but there is an old Native
Island.
American shell mound.
did this.
in Hontoon Island, DeLand, Florida.
In DeLand, you drive your boat up to Hontoon Island, you park, you tie it off, then you walk into the woods with Tom, and it was Tom, his wife, me, my wife, and all of our children, 3 kids. And we walked for hours upon hours
In ankle-deep mud.
In ankle-deep mud. And then
Cannibals in the
eventually we got to a brown park bench that said, this is the Indians that were here. They ate their shrimps here. The Indians ate shrimps here. And we stood there, and I looked around. I didn't see any shrimps. I didn't see any Indians. I saw nothing historic, no tomahawks, no Indian.
Yeah.
No mounds?
No mounds.
you think-
the only mounds that were there, and nothing. All that.
Then Andrea squatted behind the bench.
And it was loud. It sounded like a cow peeing on a flat rock.
She peed in the
Yeah.
native cemetery.
It's got a bush.
Oh my God, you're right.
And my wife desecrated a Indian burial ground with a bush weed.
Gosh, you get a UTI?
Yeah. Did she? No.
Yeah. Well, they had no idea. We all had no idea how long
We all
the
got
trip
UTIs.
was or whatever because it was last minute. Anyway, shall
Every time my
walk.
beer, hey, woo!
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this: did you have any arguments
Regrets.
over what should be in the book? Like, did
What was
something get
101?
vetoed?
What was 101, 102?
Brendan, did you
We
veto?
did have a couple arguments. I can't remember. Nothing big.
Nothing big though, because we had to.
That's
we had
the
to-
kind of people we are.
No, we don't really argue.
And I smoke a lot of weed.
And plus,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
name's on it first, so I get final say.
Is that true? Or is
No,
that the
no.
power
No.
dynamic?
I don't think so. We
that
agree
you get
on
the
most
final
things.
say? Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay.
Here's a great one. Number 41. Braid your hair and throw an axe like a Viking lady.
Oh,
No, okay. Where's that at?
X trap.
Axe, yeah, you're going to axe trap.
That's where the old booby trap was.
Oh, I didn't know they took over the old booby
Well, they
trap.
knocked it down,
They
and then
built
they
it.
built up
But
the
they have
building.
a stripping pole in the corner. And
Oh,
there's
just as-
with a neon light that says the booby traps.
Oh, so they did put a little.
The tip of the
There's
cap.
a little homage to it. Yeah,
that. I
it's a
like
cool
that.
spot. There's a lot of axe throwing places in Central Florida, but we chose that
They have
one.
food and booze.
Yeah, they do, and
All
coffee.
in one place. And coffee.
Now, did they pay you to put you in the book? Because if I was in charge, I would
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go around to every business and
Start
be
patting
like,
your pockets.
$100. I put you in this book.
Tom and Dad's 100 businesses that paid us to tell you to come there. Let's do that. Let's do 100 businesses that paid us to tell you they're great. We should do that and put it out.
I don't know what's 100 times 100. I mean, eventually you can figure it out, but it's a lot.
It's
you
so
can be
big,
rich.
you guys could be little millionaires.
I have a gripe with number 87.
Wait a minute, I want to ask you, have you ever actually been axe throwing?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did it at Hourglass.
And Longwood
Hourglass
Hourglass has axe throwing. If anybody wants to try
Are
it,
you good at it?
They're our sponsor. They pay us, so
Yeah.
we only promote them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the best axe throwing. It's the only axe throwing.
Oh, that's what I heard.
yeah.
It's the only officially sanctioned by the National Association of Axe Throwing.
we did
made that up.
We did a show competition, and someone do the work here won.
Yeah, he did. The guy who won got fired for winning.
He
So
quit.
Samantha,
Yeah.
don't win anything if they invite you out anywhere.
I almost beat him.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
she
Always
did.
let them win.
Braid your hair.
I don't
She
like
wins
that.
my heart every day, John.
Oh.
Thank you. That's how you butter up your producer.
Let's talk glass bottom boats. Because at number 87, take a ride on a glass bottom boat.
I've always
at
wanted
Silver
to swim
Spring.
under one nude and then Spider-Man myself to the glass until they have scuba. Like I'll have
Like
my
a Harry
scuba.
Garfield hanging on the
Well,
back.
I know how to scuba dive. You know how to scuba dive. I'm small. I think my body size is the width of an entire glass bottom boat. I got suction cups on my hands and suction cups on my ankles. And my rig. You know, my BC and my
I thought you were talking about your
regulator.
wang.
So I go under and I stick to the glass and I have my tank in there. I look at my timer. I got 2 hours. You not getting me off of here until you get other scuba divers to come out and pull me from that glass.
I feel like the captain would just gun it, and then eventually the water, like, it'll
No,
slowly
slowly
and then you'll be ripped off.
No, I don't think those things go
I was
fast.
gonna say I don't think a glass bottom boat goes that fast.
No, it'll get on plane.
But he
it's
could-
got
he
a
could-
150 on the back.
He could gun it for like the shore and then just kill me.
Oh, squish you good.
Yeah, that'd be bad. Getting squished naked is
So wait,
no
you're
way to die.
anti-glass bottom
Or-
boat? Is that
Well,
what we're saying?
let's talk about them for a minute because
I love that this is a thing.
We talk about glass bottom boats a lot.
Brendan, have you been on a glass bottom boat?
I have.
Okay,
I have
yeah,
too.
But it
yeah.
also sounds like a good country song.
Have you been
bottom
on a
boat.
glass bottom boat?
I just feel the theory of it is greater than the reality, and I'll explain in the fact that
Man, it's like riding in God's mask.
Yeah, because like you get on the glass bottom boat and then it's never like crystal clear glass. It's always
Well, it's a bunch of rednecks spitting all over it. You know? Like, hey, look at that! And they spit all over it.
Get the kids to go spit on the glass bottom boat again.
like from people walking on it, from scrapes on the bottom, like, and then just wear and tear and age, the glass gets a little foggy. Like it's not.
Or it turns yellow like some old Corolla's headlights. You guys, Bus Decker especially looks like he got yellow. You got yellow headlights.
No, well,
Brendan's classier.
Probably, yeah.
Scotty bought the car. So.
Yeah, Scotty
I've
keeps
had
them-
cars that have yellow
Scotty
lights.
keeps them clear.
yeah,
I assure
always,
you.
yeah.
But Bus Decker looks like he don't care. His lights are smoked out yellow.
It's
We might need your help boosting the van.
Yeah, I might need a jump later after this podcast. We'll
got
talk
you.
about that later.
Not a
Gotcha.
joke.
you never see in your imagination what you think. You think you're gonna see
Squid.
the
Octopus.
like the Sea World, like
Mermaids making out.
just
like
like
an octopus will wave hello. You know?
There's just gonna be a never-ending amount of fish and sharks swimming
All
by.
claymation animals underneath.
You're like, oh my god, it's like a wonderland down
Well,
there.
you forget that you're sort of in like a captivity area, right?
Oh, true.
You know,
But
like
they're all probably like, oh gosh, it's those perverts again.
Well, the fish are scared away by the motor, and then you're looking down and you'll see one brown doo-doo fish. Like, I was like, oh, that's all. And then you're like, what? Like, I'm hungry. And then you're like, is there booze on this thing? And then you're like, oh god, like when is it gonna end? And then you're not even looking down anymore. You're just looking
I
at
just
the
start
horizon.
looking at the ugly people I'm riding with and making fun of them in my brain.
So if
I'm
you
like,
just
look at that guy.
lower
He's-
your expectations a little bit, it's a fun time.
Well, but the problem
Like
is,
most of life.
just the term glass bottom boat made my expectations super high because I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna see down there? And you don't see
It's
nothing.
like golden toilet.
yeah. It's just a regular toilet.
Yeah,
and
it's-
it's gold.
Yeah.
You can't tell the difference. Your butt cheeks are like this.
P.S. My friend is a photographer, and she took a photo of herself pooping on Trump's golden toilet.
Really?
Oh wow! Put that in the book. That's great. I'd visit that. That's awesome.
But this is an attraction that's probably been around for 100 years. When people were coming down here in 1880, they were going on glass bottom boats to see Florida.
I think you're
and
right.
monkeys.
Here was the first question I really did have, and this is
Herpes
a
monkeys.
serious question. I am not being funny in any way.
Oh.
Because we
bring
know
it
in the
down.
last couple. I'm really trying not to bring it down, but I wanted to get your idea on this.
Okay.
There are attractions that things can go wrong, and
Yeah.
then you don't necessarily want to tell people to go out to them. Do you worry at all, like when you're choosing things that, like, oh well, that's in the book, and if
So I know what you're saying.
John
So
does.
there is sort of a disclaimer, I think, in the front of the book that says, when we wrote this, at the time it was printed, everything was open, all the attractions were
Safe,
there.
rocking and rolling,
And so
yeah.
I can't predict
Correct.
the future. So I try my best. I mean, I mean, I don't want to send you to the stab museum and
Yeah, I've been there.
But like,
That's what I call my wife's panties.
but like things happen, and so I can't really help that. But I think about it when I mean, tragedy recently has struck here in Orlando on an attraction, and I had to think about that. But I can't worry about that when I'm writing.
I wouldn't send anyone to that anyway. So
yeah,
right. I didn't think that would make the list, but my point is, there could be places. And, I don't know. I didn't know if you. I don't know. So much of what we do, especially as entertainers, you do have to think maybe with a litigious mind.
A little bit.
Like, do we need to put that in there?
But
Should we
like,
not?
my other thing is, my biggest worry is things closing, because like stuff that I think is really cool and fun just might not have a lot of people that go to it.
Like the beer spa, like I'm consistently worried there's not enough people going to the beer spa, and that's in here. But it's like you could drink beer while sitting in beer.
Which is fun.
I've known a handful of people that have done it already.
I have too, but like, so you can sit in your own beer and drink the beer that you're sitting in?
It's like unfermented beer is how they sell.
You don't drink. You don't have a big straw, and you're not drinking it while you're sitting in it.
I want to do that.
That's cannibalism.
I want to drink my own. I want to drink my own fart beer. If I can't do
stop you if you do it.
I want to sit in the beer with a big, and I want a McDonald's straw because they're a little bit bigger. You get a little more beer out, and I want to sit in my own fart beer.
It seems like it'll sting your lips, right? Like
it'll sting something else.
There was no alcohol in it.
No, because it's not fermented. It's like all the ingredients of pre-fermented beer.
Well, why can't I sit in fermented beer?
Because you'll get
yeast infection.
I'm not gonna get a yeast infection. I'm not a woman. That's not how it works. I know how science.
Guys can get yeast infections.
Nah, not me. I don't have a vagina down there.
There's no yeast.
Yeah, there's absolutely zero
Where
yeast
do they put it? Where is that?
Yeah.
Where do they put it?
I think I'm kosher and vegan.
Let's talk 82 for a second, because I feel that maybe Bustecker was in charge of anything above 50.
I love the amount of biological information we get.
Oh yeah.
That's a butt sticker.
He just starts filling in stuff because he's up against the deadline. He's like, just put it in there. Who cares?
It's something unique to Orlando.
Yeah. Tell me we are going to go to a soap museum anywhere else in the world.
What?
And learn about how to not get yeast infections.
Where is this, and how did you even find out about it?
So the soap museum is at the headquarters of Clean the World, which is a nonprofit based here in Orlando, where they help. They provide soap and hygiene products to people all over the world.
They like upcycle your soap at the hotel. Like if you're not done with the bar soap and you leave it, they don't just throw it out now. Now they like recycle it.
And then they'll send that soap to they disinfect it. And then
how do you disinfect soap?
Lick it.
They send it to countries where like if there's hurricanes or natural disasters. Anyway, point is they
got a hurricane. Here's some old soap.
so they have a museum.
It's okay. It's upcycled.
They have a museum dedicated to the history of soap. And the reason I know about it, before I started at the sheriff's office, I did some work for Clean the World, and I knew that it was there, and I covered the opening of it, and they actually got all the products donated to them by somebody who collected it over his lifetime.
They're a cool
A
organization.
soap collector? That's cool.
So it is a free museum, but
Is
the reason I put that in there is because of what you just did. Like a lot of people, they have no idea that it's here, and so if you're down by that way, it's by the airport, you can go check it out.
Down
and
by
free.
Taft. I did not know this.
The Taft
right
Soap
down the street
Museum.
from my,
Taft may want to break in that museum and use some gross asses.
Direct your emails to Dan.
That's the soap museum. Yuck.
Yeah.
We never go in there.
Like putting a dollar store in Windermere. Exactly. I don't know.
But then we cut the ribbon on the Taft Library.
So I try to find things that are unique and different and fun.
And if there's an apocalypse, you know where to go get soap.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm not going to stay clean if there's an apocalypse.
Are you just going to be dirty?
Yeah, man. I'm going to go dirt.
There's also there's a garbage truck museum here too. We actually took that out of this one.
Why'd you take that out? That's better than soap museum. Wait a minute, aren't they enemies? It's
Can
like
we
soap
go
museum.
for a go-to trip to the garbage truck museum?
What is
It's
it
in
in there?
Sanford. It's in Sanford. I don't
do
know if
it.
I've ever
The
actually
Sanford
been to
Garbage Truck Museum.
yeah. I think it's a Waste Management has one of their regional headquarters. I think Waste Management or Waste Pro. I don't remember which one.
And is it like a bunch of like garbage trucks throughout the years?
Yeah.
Like
Do you put on headphones and they're like, oh, welcome to the garbage. I want like if you're in Alcatraz, I want them to be like,
This one had a dead body.
yeah, like this is the first wooden garbage truck that Sanford incorporated back in 1816. It was pulled by 4 horses.
Why did that voice give me a boner?
That's what I want. I want them walking me through it. They're like, typical trash back in those days. We didn't have papers, and we were throwing out people.
It's weird.
Dead bodies.
Garbage trucks seemed like they haven't changed since I was a kid, right? Like, I haven't seen
technology.
future garbage trucks.
Yeah, they
right?
got the arms now.
Yeah,
to pick
mine's
up
got an
the
arm.
cans.
Yeah, but they've had
No,
those
you
arms.
got the old ones where you got humans doing it. I got
Yeah.
robots.
No, but they've had the arms that pick up the dumpsters.
No, this like
since-
grabs it though.
Yeah, this is like God's hands.
With a thumb.
Oh, what the? Okay, but
God's
I'm talking about the two forks in the middle, dumpsters that
Have you ever seen a garbage
that
truck?
businesses use. No, but I'm
He's
saying
never seen a garbage truck.
over the top. I know the side.
Over the top?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
over the top. You mean the movie with the arm wrestling?
Yeah, I'm just saying they haven't changed that much. Okay. This one, it feels like a throw-in.
Okay. You said that to everything that you picked here.
Number 86.
Why do you hate our book?
Yeah.
We worked really hard
You're
on
giving
this.
away the book for free on the
Oh,
show.
that was Brenden. So you can pick on him finally.
Which one?
The Joe Kittinger park.
Oh,
right.
Oh, I
I'll
love
get
the airplane park. It's great because they have the call from the tower on the loudspeakers as the kids are running
Oh, I
around.
didn't know that.
Yeah, put this in your book. See, this is why you needed the smarter people to help you write this. Like the speakers out there. I take Maisie there when she was little. When she'd run around and we like hear and they come on the loudspeaker and they'd be like, CJ7 approaching, and they'd like talk.
Oh, that's cool.
And they give you the. It is cool.
You know what? I take that one back.
When Dan says it's
I
cool,
take
Tom
it
says
back.
it's cool.
You know
Well,
who
I
this guy is too? You know who it's named after?
Yeah, we talked to old Joe Kittinger.
Old Joe!
Yeah, we
and
talked to him one time.
He is a real man who, surprisingly enough, when I asked him, like, I was like, well, how many skydives did you even do before you broke the world record that hadn't been broken like 8 years recently? Like, it got broke a couple times or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's still like sustained for.
His is more impressive because
Like
it was
for-
like duct tape to hold his
Yeah,
gloves
his
together.
hand
Seriously, his gloves started expanding and it was gonna like
His hand
yeah,
expanded.
and
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
had
yeah.
to. They duct taped him up.
Well, and he just jumped anyway, and he's like, I went skydiving 12 times. 12
a couple times.
And I didn't know the reason he went up there was to see what the effect of cosmic rays would have on the
Yeah, yeah,
human
yeah.
body.
Who
They
would have
didn't know it was
known
a
that
human
that
thing.
stupid restaurant at Disney, Cosmic Rays? That's just for Disney people. I love Cosmic Rays.
Now, so it's not about Joe Kittinger because that guy is amazing. It's just about his park. And before I heard it, because I drive by it, and I'm like, I see
Well, he
the
was
airplane.
a pilot too, and that's the type of plane he was flying over in Vietnam, and then he got shot down and became a prisoner of war.
No, I know it's about like when I bring my kids there. I'm like, yeah, playing the plane. You got the swing set. Like, I want a whole bigger experience.
I get it.
You know, like,
The prisoner of war experience. I don't know about that.
There's a box we can lock in right over here.
like have
Come
a replica of the thing he jumped out of, like over there. My
An
kids can
angry
play-
monkey tied to a tree,
Well,
spitting at me.
You know, have some.
This is where his hand inflated to the size of his head.
some sort of Instagram installation so I could take a picture of the basket that Joe Kittinger jumped. I was just
amazing.
saying.
Yeah, I
you
know. I don't even know what he looks like. To me, like if you showed me a picture of like what the guy with the mustache that Rosie O'Grady, like I'd be like, oh, there he is. I don't know what the guy looks like.
He's like
angry old
100 now,
Irishman.
right? He's like 95, 96.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
an old guy.
It's
That's
cool.
what cosmic rays will do to you.
One more jump. One more jump at 95.
Could you imagine talking to a young, or even the people around Joe Kittinger, because he was an experimental airplane, like he tested out experimental airplanes for the Navy or whatever. Like if someone said like, how long is this guy gonna live? No way you were like 96 plus.
I think
You'd be
he was
like, no way.
surprised too. If you asked him,
Yeah,
he'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I keep doing weird stuff and nothing's happening.
He did seem awfully calm about it, right?
I'm
Like,
really
you guys have-
350 years old.
Yeah, you guys have talked to him, and he's like nothing. Those people scare me because nothing rattles them at all. They're
He crashed-
unrattleable.
He went up in an airplane or in a hot air balloon with Bob Snow, the guy that used to do the hot air balloon stuff out of Church
Yeah.
Street. He went on just a fun joyride with them. They got blown off course by a storm, and they crash landed in northern Quebec. They had to be like evacuated
from
out
here?
of the wilderness. I don't know where they
Oh,
left
okay.
from.
That's a long getting blown off course. My God, we've been
Man.
flying for years in the balloon.
Joe Kittinger and Bob Snow flying in a hot air balloon. It's insane.
Yeah.
And they used to do that all the time. They were like best buddies.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like,
Getting
why
drunk in a hot air balloon.
some
Sounds awesome.
multi-millionaires are obsessed with like death-defying activities.
They're
which is
still doing
weird.
it right now.
It's just like
Like
you know,
the Hegels going to space.
Bezos, all of them, they're all like, get me out of here. This place sucks. I've done everything.
They know what's going on.
They do know.
do you have to be cognizant of what to put first? Because no matter what, the human psychology is
Or do
like.
you randomize it?
It was kind of randomized.
Yeah.
It's sort of split up into different sections. So I think there's like food and drink, and there's shopping, and there's attractions, and so there's different sections. Now, in terms of like what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that was kind of randomized. Really, that wasn't it wasn't like, well, this is the best thing and this is the second
Which
best
is fun
thing.
because then you can just like, we know people who use them. You just flip it open. You're like, this is what we're doing this weekend. We're shucking at Lee and Rick's Oyster Bar.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that one's in there.
You
Let's
like
see
that?
what
I
Jesus
do.
says.
Looks like a boat.
It does look like a boat. My wife loves Lee and Rick's. They have a touch tunes in there. If you want to have fun, you can put on any song and it will be celebrated. Any
What's
song.
your oyster shucking song?
I
of
like.
choice?
I usually go a little of both because it's an amazing room where you will have anybody from any walk of life, but they will all be happy. I do a little bit of Lil Wayne, and then and then I go into like a Luke Bryan or something. I do a little bit of country and a little bit of hip hop, and it works every
Are
time.
you considerate enough to look at the most played
I do.
music selections when you go into those bars?
I do.
You do. That's very nice.
Yeah,
of you.
I
like
traditionally look in there to make sure, and I don't do the goof joke. I don't put like a dirty song.
Okay.
I don't put like something like Fish Out of Water. I don't do Celine Dion. My heart will go. No. I try to match the room. Lil Wayne,
that. Very
Luke Bryan.
considerate.
Do you guys ever think I've
No.
got this theory about that there's no more secrets now because of social media and the internet or whatever? It's like little hidden gems are
We
now.
sold a book. We sold. A
I
book.
sold one. No,
Hey!
I'm keeping tabs on it. Go to 100thingsorlando.com.
Okay, how many?
I
I
only
got?
sold one, so our job is done.
Hey,
We can-
See, we're good people. We're friends. Got
guys.
one. But there's like any hidden gem anymore of anywhere like, oh, this place. I use this as a reference, but King's Landing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
We we were gonna do a BDM event, our first ever at King's Landing at the
I'd
time.
never even heard of the place.
And we had talked to the owner and stuff, and it was a small, like, mom and pop canoe place, and they were trying to market themselves. And we had social media back then, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And now it's just like you see so many people comment on like King's Landing posts and stuff. They're like, oh my God, where's this place? And we were looking to go and bring the boys again, and they're like, we're booked out 3 months or whatever it is. And, it's like, it's that crazy. Good for them.
Visit Orlando pays influencers to go there, like from New York and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Well, why? Does it need help?
Well, not anymore, but it's like these are things you can do in Orlando.
Yeah.
Look, it's amazing.
And the
They
guy
should spend that money on the things people don't want to do, so we can funnel all the out-of-state people to the crappier
like
stuff.
glass bottom boats.
Yeah, you get the influencers on the glass bottom, and those of us that like the good stuff, you leave that for the locals.
And I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. I'm going nowhere, Brendan. So don't worry. I just start talking, and I'm like, we'll see where this goes.
Talk radio.
That's gonna be on his tombstone.
There's no point to it. As I'm talking, I'm thinking,
Let's
of like,
give this
what's
a shot.
next?
It's something we think. People get mad at me sometimes when I write about it, like on Bungalow, where they're like, "Well, why are you talking about this restaurant now? I'm gonna have to wait, 15 minutes for my burger." And people,
15 minutes.
I don't know.
But it's also that's what the restaurant wants.
Yeah.
Like they and
They're
then
not here to serve one person. They want to serve as many people.
Then they
as
close
can.
down because nobody shows
Yeah,
up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but if I'd gotten my burger before they closed down, I'd still be satisfied. I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's certainly places that aren't as popular as other places that
Oh,
I
yeah.
think are really cool. Like Brenden, the other day, I went out to the Orlando Wetlands Park, which I love.
I love it out there.
But Brendan's like, I've never been there.
It's dope.
And he's lived
Never
here, 10 years or so.
where
and
is that?
And I have like an environmental studies background.
So it's
and
way
like,
on
I
the
know.
east side. It's technically the
By
city of
Fort
Orlando,
Christmas.
but it's in Christmas. So and it's
I
just
went out there with Maisie.
Biffalo Everglades? I know
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Orlando Wetlands? What the hell are you talking about? Biffalo Everglades.
Why don't they call it that?
That's what I call it.
That should be a whole T-shirt line. Is like the wrong names for things.
But there's like all kinds of
I'm gonna cut that
alligators
out.
out there, all kinds of birds, and like it's a cool spot. But a lot of people have never gone out there because they think it's too far.
Yeah.
But from downtown, it's a
It's
30-minute
so
drive.
fun. There's awesome hills up there. You can take your bike up to the top and then rock it down a hill.
Yeah.
And,
Cool.
Yeah,
But That's a cool spot, but not everybody knows about that.
We saw tons of alligators, all kinds of crazy critters,
Yeah.
turtles, birds.
We're trying to do like a bar crawl downtown with these private speakeasies. There's a bunch downtown that people don't really know about, and we're always trying to find that next thing.
fancy bars.
Yeah, like there's a place on Pine Street. You wouldn't even notice it if you're looking at it. It's across from that sushi place or like kitty corner from the Robinson Room, and it's underneath. They call it the Vault, and it's accessible only by people who have some sort of connection with the owner who owns FBC Mortgage and a bunch of properties downtown. And there's like 5 like that.
What happens if you go there and you're like, let me out?
Nothing. They won't.
They're just like,
they have little bouncers that'll kick you out.
Really?
Yeah, they just sit on the other side. Yeah, it happened. I was supposed to go, and I was confused about where it was, and the guy was watching me on the camera, and he opened the door and was like, I think you're looking for this place.
I like that we're segmenting places off for the riffraff to not go to. Is this where we're going? I like this.
That's why people
join
join
the
the Citrus Club or the University Club or even at the library when you go to the Melrose Center.
Yes.
There's places that put barriers in place.
You can escape the grossos.
So others get the gross.
Remember Spy Bar in Orlando?
Yeah.
That was like, I remember when I was like 22.
Watching you on a camera.
Hey, there's this bar, and like there's secret entrances, and like there's ways to get in, and they're watching you on video, and that was the whole thing.
I remember
Spy
hearing
Bar.
that and me like, I don't want to go there. They're like, it's a secret bar, and
was
everybody's watching you on
2003.
secret
I got
camera.
kicked out of there when I was
Is that
17.
Is that independent bar, like where they had like
Yeah,
the
it was
camera?
right behind
Okay.
Ibar, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You see what's going in there?
No.
It's a whiskey something. The Beecham took it over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're about to write about it.
I was hoping we'd get another Jersey Mike's. I like a Mike's way.
I like
What
seeing
can
all
I
the
say?
cyclist delivery people.
Oh, the Freaky Fast, the Jimmy John's people?
I
Or
love
just-
them.
You love those guys?
Yeah, they're like popping wheelies and
Yeah, it's because they're
Jumping curbs.
they're literally bored out of their minds. Right?
Do you have anything in the book that's in the Panhandle? Because I don't even consider that Florida.
No. It's
I don't
100 things
want-
to do in Orlando before you
No,
die.
oh, God.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention.
Really didn't read
I
the
thought it was
book.
Florida.
Since we're really deconstructing the book, let's go to the back. Let's
right.
go to the back cover. And let's look at the back. And the 2 photos. I love the 2 photos. The 2 photos sum up your personalities perfectly. You have John first, who looks like Tucker Carlson on the top, and then you have Brenden, who looks like party boy extraordinaire.
Look like it is in a beer funnel.
Yeah, like you're literally like you're rushing for a like a sorority or a fraternity or something.
I was taken at the Winterberg boat tour.
I think I asked Brenden, hey Brenden, send me a headshot, and I think he sent me like 2 or 3,
and
and
you
one.
use the party picture.
No, that was the best one. So the other one
It
was
was
him
the
like
best one.
seductively licking a black ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
You should have got.
I really wanted that
Everybody
one.
should lick a black ice cream
Yeah.
before they leave Orlando.
I was
It
like-
made it feel really uncomfortable. You sweating a little bit.
I
didn't know if he was
You made
racist
his
or not.
sheriff boots wilt.
I have to defend myself because I'm sure a lot of people are like, you idiot. Damn, you've been promoting the book 100 Things to Do in Orlando before you
Right.
die, and you mentioned the Panhandle, but I'm looking at something that says Silver Springs right here, and that's what threw
It's
me
not
off.
the Panhandle. It's north of here.
I know, but it's not Orlando, so then
Greater Orlando.
Greater. Hold on, where does Greater Orlando?
I mean, Old Town's in Kissimmee.
Yeah.
technically.
There's half these things are not technically in
Central
Orlando.
Florida.
Central Florida.
Okay, hold on.
Silver Springs is an hour away.
I was worried about the Silver Springs one just because I know they have herpes monkeys. I
Oh,
don't really want to
yeah,
send
yeah.
people
But have
there.
you
still
seen
have
them?
those?
Yeah.
They're
seen 'em.
awesome.
They like jump out while you're kayaking, right?
Yeah.
I got herpes.
And I'm like, whoa, my God.
They're all whispering in the bushes. Everyone has herpes.
But if you throw your cigarette at them, they'll smoke it.
Yeah, they will. For $1. You have to pay them.
It's awesome.
And give it back to
Yeah.
And you're like,
Then they'll eat it.
You're like, it can't hurt them that much. It's just one a day.
I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I don't think that there are enough ingredients in a lit cigarette to give them diarrhea. It just doesn't seem like it
Why
would.
is that the qualifier?
I don't know. I just, you know.
So I will say
Makes 'em
one
hungry.
thing that we took out of the book, Brenden, if you remember, was Spook Hill.
Oh,
Yes.
We took Spook Hill out because we thought it was lame.
we did.
It doesn't work, right? Or it doesn't work.
So Spook
a
Hill,
hill.
if you're not, if you don't know, I think it's in
It
Polk
also
County.
sounds mildly racist. I think
Yeah.
that was also
So
part
you
of it.
park your car and then your car goes up the hill.
you put your car in drive, it
Yeah.
looks like it's going up.
I can hear my dad saying that's stupid from heaven.
It's an optical
They have
illusion.
they have a sign there, and they tell you what to do.
I think I was like, no, take that out. Let's put in a list of ice cream shops.
Those are so fun.
And then we have like list of donuts and
Yeah.
Let's put in lists.
Do you guys get tired of going, or like, because Tom and I forever, and every time you come in here, we're going to beg you to go to certain restaurants and places and get them to bend over backwards and give you free stuff forever. And you never do it. You never do it. And Tom and I have been begging you to please go to these restaurants and different places and have them roll out the red carpet and literally make them treat you like kings to have
And
that
pay
amount
you.
of promotion on your radio show and in your book. Please say that this is going to be the year where you guys...
What are you talking about?
we do
always go
okay.
to. Who are we not gone to?
No, I want you to really
I think this is a
abuse
dream
it.
you had.
I
I don't
want
think you ever asked me that.
really abuse it.
So but
Every week we go to a different spot and they feed us.
That's true.
What
No,
else?
we sometimes pay for it. We
Don't
don't get always
ever.
the red carpet.
See,
Oh,
I
look at
told
you.
you.
They're gonna pay you.
But wait, I do want to say this. We've also
yeah.
talked to some of those restaurants, and they vote.
And they
some
no,
of them
that
say-
Tom and Dad did us dirty.
No.
No.
But we've
Will
also-
not work with anybody again. Well, a pod nest. No way.
But we've heard like the
Somebody
horror
said that
stories too, where like people will come in like quote unquote influencers and be
Yeah.
like, "Well, I want a taco and I want a burger and I
Yeah,
want a
yeah.
pizza," and then they'll take one bite and be like, "Pack it all up, I'm taking it home." And the
I do
restaurants,
that.
yeah, well, the restaurants, are like,
I'm like, change of plans. Eating at home. I'm more creative there.
but like the restaurants feel sort
Who
of
was
helpless.
that? There was one not too long ago, and they're like, we're really afraid to have you come in, and you're
Yeah.
gonna.
It was
hurt our
Mr.
feelings."
Beast, wasn't it? I knew it.
Because people take advantage of it. They'll have you know
Yeah.
5,000 followers on Instagram, and then the restaurant they don't want to
We
make
really
them mad.
We really hook them up though. Like,
yeah, we try to like hook
I'll
them
do a
up and be
360
nice about
photo
it.
for their Google Street Views. We'll do
Wow,
a Yelp review, and we'll do TikToks and Instagram reels, and we talk about them on the show.
We just try not to take advantage of these small
That's
restaurants
good.
they don't have much money, and I don't mind buying some stuff.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I'm not going to turn it down, or they want
What
to
are
bring
your
me
thoughts,
a
Tom?
pizza or a
If they
hamburger.
want to talk, they have to pay us.
Doing it all wrong. You go there, you demand everything. Then here's the important fact that maybe you guys are missing. You have to promise them the world.
Yeah. You do have to
If
say,
you don't
like,
promise them the
we're
world,
gonna
they
have-
won't give you everything.
You have to say, look, we're going to have so many people in here that you guys are guaranteed millionaires. How does being guaranteed millionaires sound? And you have to do like they do at any of those like things. You have to be like,
We
raise your
don't have that impact.
Raise your. You guys pretend like you
No.
own a taco bar.
Well, no one
raise
does.
your hand if you want to be a
But
millionaire.
you're
I
missing-
can make that happen.
You're
That's
missing.
how you do it.
You just promise them the world. You don't like to give them
Yeah, you
nothing.
don't have to
And then
actually
there's
deliver.
enough where you burn the bridge. Who cares? You go to the next one.
Yeah.
There's so many
There's
restaurants.
so many. I think we have
mean,
the
come
most
on.
pizzerias
Yeah.
per
We have a lot of
capita.
pizzerias.
I
yeah.
think
College Park.
the old it's like
Yeah.
the old there's like a legitimate number on it where like Orlando has the most pizzerias ever. You can burn through like 20 of those a day and still have hundreds of pizzerias left over.
Everybody added pizza to, like all the bars during the pandemic. That was the easiest
Yeah.
thing for bars to add
Yeah.
so they could qualify as a restaurant. They're like, oh, we're serving flatbread.
Yeah.
We can now reopen. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
you
Oh,
mean
yeah.
to tell
we're
me
not
some
a
of
bar.
these flatbread peddlers can't roll out the red carpet for two mega influencers like you, and you're a cop.
Most
At
of them
some
do.
point,
Most
you
of
can
them
go
do.
back there. You can yell at them and
You
be
have
like,
a gun.
"Look, do you want this place to be shut down immediately? I'm the law, MF." Like you can put that big justice boot right on their neck
Yeah.
and lean in on it. man.
Justice
Yeah.
food on
Get
their
it?
neck.
Be like, maybe the cops won't patrol this way at night.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Maybe
I'll
it
tell
won't
them
be quite as safe here anymore.
stay away from Pizza Bruno next time. And the next time
I
you got a
can't stay away
burglary,
from Pizza Bruno. I love it so
We
much.
should
yeah.
say I am
Opening
not a
another
police
one.
officer.
you know, where there's a big brick through your window one day, and then who's gonna come
It'd
and
be a shame if something happened to your Orlando Weekly newspaper box. It'd be a shame if somebody kicked it over.
yeah. Then there's a dead fish involved. You're doing it all wrong.
Yeah, a horse
They take
head.
good care of us. Everybody takes good care of us. We're
Pretty
going to
much.
Luke's.
We've had a
Luke's next
few
week.
that have not been great.
Oh
But
yeah, like they'd give us like one little.
Which
appetizer.
ones?
Well, I want to go Tactical Brewing. We work with them, and they gave us a 6-pack, and I was like, "Well, I think you misunderstood the email."
This must be to keep my feet from shaking. I'm Brenden effing O'Connor.
But it was fun. We saw fun, and they're
Right,
great.
I did
They're
take
great.
those
My
beers home.
mermaid tail is shaking off my body.
I was a dumpster merman once in my life.
So we got one book down. Or how many?
Two books down. I
Two.
wrote two.
Oh,
You
what
know
for each
Norm
of
got
us?
one.
One more time. Where can people buy it?
Go to 100thingsorlando.com.
It's numbers 100thingsorlando.com.
Yeah, and then we'll ship it to you. We'll sign it. We'll put a custom.
You got any book signings?
Rub it
coming
on my
up?
We
butt.
do. Thank you for reminding
There
me.
you go.
Good job,
Amanda.
Sam. She's a good producer.
Our first one is going to be at the Pinball Lounge on April 22nd.
Okay.
Joybird
Alright.
Books is coming
Yep,
up.
we got a
Yes.
bunch.
Yeah.
And plug your show too on Fridays.
No, Bungalower in the Bus, Friday nights at 8 o'clock. Also a podcast. You can download it.
We're doing. I haven't told John this yet, but
Uh-oh.
we're doing an event on 420 at Ravenous Pig called Bungalower in the Buds,
All right.
I like how he eliminated you from the whole thing. I like that.
and we're going to show people how to roll joints using CBD from Treadwell Farms. Then you get a pig roast dinner, and then we're going to drink smoked pineapple IPAs and watch Pineapple Express all at the beer garden.
Wow.
And roll joints.
And roll joints.
Put that in the book. That's great. That's all fun as hell. My God.
one.
Yeah,
Come on
out. That is amazing. I might.
Our members, because we have a membership program, if you have like that keychain, we have
I
a
got
keychain
one.
program.
Yeah, Sam's got one.
Hey, then you can unlock discounts around town, but you should have, if you're an OG like subscribed online, you'll get a discount code for that event too.
There you go.
I get a
Cool.
free membership, right? Just
Yeah, I didn't bring you keychains.
All right,
I'll
okay.
get you. I have one in my pocket.
They like me.
John,
better.
give him your keychain.
I'll give you my keychain.
I'll give you mine too.
All right.
That's fine. I'll keep the book.
All right. We'll take a quick
We're going to need those books back.
It was just for reference during the show.
Joke's on you. I took a picture of every page. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Brenden and John are still here.
And John Musdecker has bars on his windows. My God.
He
The
lives-
revelations you get during the breaks,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God. A good law enforcement individual living in fear of his own life. In a prison.
true.
In a bar
That's
in
not
prison.
true.
You're no different than a Sanford giraffe locked in a zoo cage.
They used to have barbecue festivals in front of those animals.
Did they really?
Like you'd be eating barbecued cow in front of
Wait
a
a minute.
giraffe.
They don't know.
You know what's funny is the only way you could get me
They
to go
don't.
to the zoo right now would be if they had a barbecue festival. I'm all for that. I'm in.
They have that beer festival coming up. But you're not drinking, don't do it.
No, I'm not drinking right now.
right.
I love the zoo, though. God, I love the zoo.
You like the zoo?
I do. I very much enjoy seeing animals. That's why I got into
In
scuba
captivity.
diving. I like.
I like seeing anybody in captivity.
No. It has nothing to do with captivity. It has nothing to do with. It has everything to do with sadness. I like to see people and animals sad.
There's nothing wrong with
Reminds
that.
me that I'm not.
That's why I like zoos and Walmart. That's what I like. That's all I like.
This show, zoos and Walmart.
You should
I'm
go to
Walmart.
You like Gatorland?
I do love Gatorland.
Gatorland's fun.
Yeah, Gatorland's cool. Savannah's crushing it out there. All the little things that they do, they got the good branding, they got the cool outfits, and they got the video.
She's
I
so
love it.
famous.
I love it. I just love it.
She's like the most famous.
She is like absolutely, and found her true calling. I think that's
Yeah.
the lane she should have been in forever. Right? It's like so cool.
Have you been to the Serpentarium in St. Cloud?
I have indeed.
Okay. All
It's
right.
that in the
club.
book.
Strip
All right.
club.
That's a good spot.
Are there any? Where are we at with strip clubs? Let's talk about that for a second because I just got back from Tampa.
Not in our book.
Oh, did you go to Mons Venus?
I tried to get Andrea to do it. I was pulling hard to try and get her. I was like, it'd be funny.
Has she gone to one?
She's been to many strip clubs. Yeah, she's not
chill. She's chill.
Well, that's the thing about Andrea is that she's a lot like Tom in that she's very logical.
Out of me and Andrea, you would think that I would be the one that have gone.
Correct.
I've never gone to a strip
What?
club.
But it doesn't do anything for Andrea. So it could be a strip club to Andrea. It might as well be a Wawa.
Is
like
she
she's
awkward in it, or
no, she's like him. It's not. They're not. You put them in scenarios that the normal person would be awkward, and they're so logical. They're like, well, these ladies are just working. I'm not into this. I'm not gay, so I'm not sexually attracted. I'll have a beer and I'll sit with my husband. No
I'm
big deal.
gay and I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
I
she's just,
love it.
She's not into like it's not like she's there to see the ladies. There aren't dudes walking around.
We
up
did
there.
an episode at Rachel's North.
Nice.
And during the lunch because they added the new chef was like from the Ritz. And,
Oh my
And
God.
he was a friend of mine, so he invited us in. And John
Suck
had
that
to
blue, look at
sit with
fucking
his
Boobies everywhere.
The change room is right by the kitchen.
Yeah.
And right by the
My
dining
legs have a
room.
pubic hair.
And so they're all just walking by naked, and John had to sit with his back to them because he didn't want the temptation. And so the whole time my mouth was open because I'd see these women like, whoa.
Wait, John didn't want the temptation.
But also,
What
like, when
Because he's a good
my
man.
back was to the door, and I'm not just gonna like every time somebody walks out. Oh my
Whoa.
god!
That's why you're
Wait,
there.
You
That's
can't
what I
control
did.
yourself. You're like, I can't be.
This one girl came out.
I see him. It's cheating. Oh, God, I got to go to church.
This one girl came out and her hair was down to her butt, and she looked like she was like from the cover of like the old heavy metal animated movie. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about? And she came out gorgeous, like the curves, everything,
Yeah.
and she walked around.
And did he go,
completely
"Oh, okay,
naked."
look.
He wasn't looking, but I was like trying to, because we were in the middle, like we're both had our mics in front of our faces. We were talking about something, dumb, like a restaurant opening and closing.
yeah.
And I was trying to signal to him, like, look at this,
Look at this girl.
look at these boobies.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, my God, I've never seen a bigger bush.
She was beautiful.
It's
It was also a Thursday at noon too. It wasn't
Oh,
exactly
that's the best.
That's when I had heterosexual feelings. For a minute.
Hey,
I know.
congratulations.
I know. I thought I was dead. I drunk that out of my body.
it feels like the demand is always going to be
It's
there.
there, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
the business model, I feel like it's
We gotta
hard for
change
strip
it.
clubs because of just the perception.
You don't want it to
like-
be skeezy.
Yeah, like people think like it's just nefarious activities
yeah.
involved, or like the women are somehow like doing this like beyond their free will or something. For what I'm saying,
Trafficking.
there's trafficking involved with
I don't
it. It's
want
like-
someone. I don't want to feel like someone's trying to like put one over on me. I don't want you to like try. You're not trying to fool me into getting a lap dance. I just want to go and have fun.
Yeah, and then that's just perception. It's not reality with a lot of these businesses, but like public perception, I feel like is like looks down on strip clubs, so therefore their business is
Montreal,
struggling.
best strippers in North America. Montreal.
All right.
Because
I'm
the money-
making a note.
I've heard
The
that.
money's still there.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard that. Like, see, the difference though, like in Tampa, like the strip clubs when we were driving around there, were packed. Like,
Oh, yeah.
especially at night, it was no different than any other bar. So it looked very much like we used to have when we had strip clubs around here. The Tampa ones were just wild. I mean, like, we didn't go into any of them, but they were making money.
There's no shortage of lonely men out there.
That's the one I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to one that's full of guys with their hands in their pockets.
Me
Like I want to
either.
go to like a fun.
You may not want to go to
It's
strip
clean.
clubs then. You may want all boys that just stayed at like gay mermaid thing is way more reputable, I would say.
I mean,
You
how
keep talking
busy-
about
I
my
mean-
gay mermaid. Did you like
Well,
those?
I did
photos?
it. Tom
Brenden,
and I
it's-
love Stonewall, and we've always wanted to be in the merman
Oh,
tank.
and it's broken.
Yeah, it's broken. We heard.
Yeah. The problem is, it's like saying I don't want to go to a bar and see alcoholics. Like it's gonna happen.
it's
They'll
gonna happen.
be there. Now you have
Yeah.
to choose to ignore that aspect of it because
Normally they kind of sequester themselves into a little area of their own, and you just don't go over there.
Yeah.
But like,
the
how-
regulars.
How busy are the ones around Orlando?
That was sort of
just
my
don't
question.
know.
I don't think they are.
I drive by Diamond Club. It's always empty. What's the one right here that burned down, basically? So that
Dancers,
was, yeah,
Royale.
Dancers
yeah.
Royale.
But there's like 4 of them
Had that
on
answered
South
quick,
Orange
John.
Blossom Trail going towards Florida Mall.
Well, Dollhouse closed, right? That's gone.
I just don't know.
They changed names. I went
And
by there the other day too.
City of Winter Park
Yeah.
bought booby traps so they could tear it
Yeah,
down.
they tore that down.
Well, I'm sure
Why
just
would
like
they do that?
every company, they're
Out of
having
Winter Park.
a shortage of employees, and it's hard to staff. Not
They're
only
making more money on
OnlyFans.
on Instagram and OnlyFans
Yeah.
now.
Nobody wants to work. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Well, think about if you were
Thanks, Joe
All
Biden.
getting their government checks.
if you were a stripper and willing to do that, you were like, well, I could just go to Instagram or some
Yeah.
other OnlyFans
Very
or whatever,
safer.
and I could do it myself privately. I say privately, you're exposed to more people, which is the irony. It's like more people see you naked, but it's on your own terms, and you get 100% of the money. So it's like, and you don't have to. There's
But
there's
you're
an
more
awkwardness.
visible that way because people will screenshot, share, and chat
Yeah.
about.
True, yeah.
Whereas if you're just dancing at the club, the likelihood of somebody running into you at, again, Walmart or something like that just ain't going to happen.
And there's no
How
phones.
do they allow phones out? At strip clubs?
No. The bouncer
They'll
will come.
kick you out.
They're usually looking for your camera. If you have your phone out and you're checking your messages or typing, it's fine.
Yeah, but if you're doing creepy snapshots or whatever, the
They'll just
bouncer
come
will
pound your face with his fist.
Yeah, they may stomp your phone or make you delete the photos or whatever.
Flush your phone down the toilet.
The rules are there's
loose.
Well, the legality of what the bouncers at strip clubs can do to you if you misbehave is all over the place.
I feel like that's bouncers everywhere.
We almost got rolled in San Francisco when we were at that strip club. I mean, that was a scenario where the strippers and the bouncers were going to beat us up.
Well, that was like a front for prostitution.
And we were going to get beat up. 100% going to get beat up. And
Why?
I think
What were you doing?
The only thing that saved us is how frail of a tiny man I am. And the guy, hey, dog, I can't kill this guy. Like, it was very much.
They only beat you up if you don't pay or refuse.
We barely got your money back.
Wait, did you dispute the charges?
No,
we
they robbed them.
No, we begged these girls.
I didn't get my money. I just gave it.
So we
had gotten nervous about where this is going. We got into a scenario
where the girls that were giving us lap dances thought we wanted to cheat on our wives.
Oh.
No, what they just offered, they're like, "Hey, what do you want?" And they just started
rifling off a list,
sex acts for money. And then they're like, and then I was like,
and I said, "Give me a 3 and a 4, 2 4s, 2 3s. I need a number 3 and 2 number 4s." You know what the 4 is.
By the way, I don't know.
I haven't done the 4 in a long time.
Oh, it's the best one.
My knees hurt.
I don't know if there's any strippers listening to this, but don't unbutton my button-down shirt. I don't want to do that.
I want to leave that on.
How often does that happen?
I wanted to leave my shirt on to protect me from the copious amounts of glitter you had on your nose.
Yeah. Like, and then I don't want a scenario where I'm running out of here with an unbuttoned shirt.
Can we make that a TV show? Let's make that a TV show. Tom and Dan go to the strippers.
If you look down at the drain, the shower drain, and I see little bits of glitter going down, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. I promise I didn't do anything. She was just rubbing her face on my chest.
So what's this Friday show? What do you guys got going on?
We're going. Well, we record on Thursday, so after tonight, we're gonna go hang out at 7 Bites for the Orange Blossom Pilsner release. It's our 20th anniversary. So they're having a little party over at 7 Bites.
How many dads do you think at 7 Bites have said, so good, I probably should have had 8 Bites? How many dads do the 8 Bites? How many dads? If you do the 8 Bites, email me. I want to hear from you.
We'll try to do that tonight.
Okay,
little Easter egg
Put that in there.
Put that in there.
And then so it can be downloaded on podcast. Do you always do the show mobile?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're always in a different spot.
It's funny, we've done this 5 years now, and so every week we're
It
somewhere
is crazy
different.
because I remember when you started.
Yeah, you said we wouldn't make it.
We used your Zoom.
I didn't
So you
say
told
to
all
you.
your friends.
Okay, well,
You hate to-go shows, and here is a duo, much like us. I mean, some would say in some ways a more powerful broadcasting duo.
Better looking. For sure.
Brenden and Buster. I would agree with that. Tall, not stunted growth. You can tell I smoked early because it just never reached full potential. My mom probably did because she was a whore.
Yeah.
But I will say that these guys, they do a go-to show, something that intimidates you and I, and they do it weekly.
And we have to talk to like real people and things like that, and be out.
But we're only an hour, and we're once a week.
Yeah.
And you guys got the best time slot.
Do we though?
Yeah,
I think it's the worst time slot. It is too much.
Tom just went, hey.
He gave you the Kanye.
I thought nights were the worst. That's what they told me in radio. They're like, what the worst at night?
Yeah, ours are seriously. Ours is after yours.
But they told SBK it was the best. They told me it's the best.
Right.
Yeah. Then I was like, time slot. Like, I don't know what that means anymore. It's a whole on demand, right? You just go there and you hit play.
Why don't you like mobile shows?
What go-to shows?
They're hard.
Why?
Because I feel like it's like unless you have a specific laid out plan and it's improv.
They
which
probably
me and
lay
Daniel
it
do.
out, though.
Yeah, you guys probably have
plan.
ideas of where to go, whatever. I start getting comfortable, then I start doing the show, and then I start, to me, it's harder to do on location.
I would agree,
show.
yeah.
And probably because we're in the studio so much Monday through Friday that when we get thrown off, I'm an old man, Brenden. It's like any old man. You throw me off, you put me in a new scenario. I'm like, I don't know where I'm at.
I know all about that.
It's like
this
once you take your pop up to the hospital, it's done because he's
What training room is it? Once he mixes up his pills
Ours
one
gets
time.
it gets a little risky sometimes. Sometimes, like, because we're drinking and we're eating and
Yeah.
we roll up, and I'll have a list of like the headlines that we we've written
Brendan's
about that
better
week.
at planning things out. I kind of just show up.
Hey, that's what I do.
But I will say, I think our biggest challenge, and it's never really
I
affected
think our
it.
biggest challenge is we can get too drunk sometimes.
Yeah, but usually
Like
fun
we did
after.
a
that's
Tori
what they
Tori.
want.
There was only one episode where
I
it went
can't
a
believe
little
they aired
above
it.
and beyond what we should have.
We went to Tori Tori. It was like almost blackout.
That's
drunk,
a good
and
Oh,
they
I gotta
aired
go
it.
back and listen to that one.
Oh
in the
yeah,
archive.
it's because we pre-gamed it at Wally's,
Oh,
and then we
yeah.
went to Tori Tori, and then they started bringing us like
Bottles of
bottles
sake.
of
They just
stuff.
kept sending us like bottles.
But our biggest concern usually is like how loud it is in there.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
we'll go
that's
to
true.
bars and it's loud, but
Yeah.
we've never had a big problem.
Or like homeless people talking to us if we're on a
We've
patio.
had that a few times,
Which we
too.
don't even. We used to like we used to stop it when that would happen, but now we just let it roll because it's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Here's the problem: the listeners. The listeners are the problem, and I figured it out because
Wait a minute, they've always been the problem. Hold on a
I feel
second.
like every time you guys do an event, you listeners are the best listeners ever.
well, we just say that. That's the tagline.
Yeah. We stole that from Kiss.
But the problem, the listener, I see them on Facebook, and they're like, "I like it when things go crazy, and Tom gets so drunk he doesn't know he's stressed out, and he's screaming, this is going poorly."
We like that Daniel's wife wants to divorce him because he's alcoholic.
Yeah, so
We love that dysfunction.
So they say they like when things go crazy and things go wrong, and then we're struggling and they're stressed out and screaming.
Look
This
at
is going-
Sam yelling at Tom. Ha ha.
and they're
How funny is it? Look at how stressed out she is. Look, she's actually yelling at him. It's not a fake thing. It's a real yell.
So they like it, but then we were like, "Oh, give them what they want." So then we start doing that over and over, and then you're the Island Boys, and then you bring the third guy, and they're like, "We hate this. We said we liked it 6 months ago, but now we hate it."
Oh my God!
That's
We're
what
just
happened.
12 years of doing this Island Boys. Is all we are. We're just Island Boys never gave up. Because you know they're giving up. I mean, they're giving up.
Well, no, I think they're trying. That's the problem.
We were driving back from Tampa, and like in the car, I FaceTime with Maisie just to say hi. I missed you. And Maisie goes, "I'm an island boy." I don't know where she heard it. I don't know where she heard it, but she did it. I'm like, "Oh my God, oh my God, it's happening."
All right, we need to let you guys go.
All right.
Bus Taker's car's not going to start. What's wrong with your car?
I don't know yet.
It didn't start earlier. It's not
No,
going to start
I
again.
Did you guys
I
drive
jumped it.
together?
Yeah.
He picked me up. He picked me up.
Yeah.
My man took the car today, so
Okay.
What kind of car is it?
It's a minivan.
With a big high bar in the front. It's the Dare minivan.
it's like one of the undercover Orange County sheriffs.
No,
did.
it's not.
It's
No,
Dare
it's
program
not.
minivan. It's got rims on it.
What kind of?
It's I don't want to throw Dodge
It's a
under the
minivan
bus.
with 28-inch spinners on it.
It's like this used to be owned by a drug lord.
They have warehouses full of stuff like that.
Yeah,
And if
know.
you're a nonprofit, they'll hook you up with like bikes and TVs. And
Yeah,
things.
they should.
They'll give it to you.
Yeah, they should have every
hold
charity in Orlando should have like a Lambo or some garbage to drive around.
We can only fit 2 teddy bears in here for the Christmas.
So how old is the minivan?
I don't know.
Old enough.
If you don't even know.
I might
what
have left
that
the light
year.
on or something like that.
How old is the minivan? Brendan yells old enough and does a tiny fist pump.
I feel like we need to pimp out Dumba's
Yes.
minivan.
Can we
Yes.
pimp your
It's the
minivan?
grip truck all over again.
Go on.
Go on, we'll pay for it. And,
Yeah, out of our own money.
Yeah, we'll
For work purposes only.
we'll wrap it.
This
we'll
did not
get
work
you,
out well last
We'll
time.
get you
Well,
rims.
Ross wouldn't let us go full bore. I want to
Velour
get it
and
painted.
No, I'm saying the grip truck that we literally just got rid of. That's what you guys did.
Ross Paget?
No,
No.
Ross McCoy,
Oh, 'cause
who
he
used to be
was
on this program,
yeah.
a stand-up comedian. We tried to pimp his van, but he
Well, we didn't have any money.
didn't
back
have any
then.
money.
So we had to go to
That's true.
AutoZone.
We just
just
did
get
an
him some
auto
dice.
And then I was like, we can't spend over $100.
Hey, Ross is like, I want the Decepticon emblem. I'm like, too expensive.
Oh my gosh.
too expensive. We can't do Decepticons.
Yeah. We can put bass in there. I mean, we'll do it for free just
No,
to
you
do
won't.
it.
You
Yeah,
won't
we'll do it for free.
Yes, we will.
Yeah,
We're
we
just
will.
gonna trick all these businesses. You give them advertising.
Well, that's what radio stations do. What do you think radio stations do? They trick businesses into give them the money, and then they're like, this was for charity.
Well, this is for, and then we'll say like A1 Auto Tuners.
Yeah.
Get up for A1 Auto Tuner.
Yeah, then they'll get the
Free protection from Orange County
the
Sheriff's Department.
advertisement.
And then 1 week later, because we rushed it, all the speakers fall out at one time.
we will rush them.
We will rush
I
it,
know.
and
I'm
the
bad
paint
at
is
that.
peeling off, and it's gonna be real. It's gonna look great for only 1 hour.
Yeah. Didn't they do that with Junk's car? This has been
Yeah.
done in radio, by the way. The only ideas I have are old radio ideas, and pimping out someone's intern's car is one of
Okay,
them.
are we gonna have a gas shortage anytime soon? Because I feel like we're very
Nah, I
close.
just have beans.
No, I'm serious. We should do the old real radio gas man promotion. If you want to go old school, let's start giving away gas.
They're doing that now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. We should do the thing.
$50 gift card.
No, no.
I want to get you two gallons.
That's not how you do it.
We're about to do it with Mo to Win.
Maybe. Yeah,
No, that's not how you do it. If you really want to do it old school, what you do is you buy the block of gas and you run a line. So what you do is you go up to the gas station and you say, I got $10,000 on gas.
Yeah.
And you just run a line. And everybody gets in line and you just pump free gas that way. That's how you
There was
do
a guy
it.
in Boston
You
that
don't do
just
the
did that.
$50 gas cards. That's garbage. You got to do the line where you
do
big D it. You walk up and you
Are
go.
you texting Mo right now?
I did this with Real Radio one time when the gas man
And
promotion.
then
I
it
walked
creates
up.
a line.
I was the intern with the company card, and I went up and I said, "We're gonna do it." I scanned the card, and we just ran people through.
Oh, that's so fun.
It's pretty neat using that much money. It
We're in
was,
short shorts like
pretty
Daisy
awesome.
Dukes.
no, I didn't. I
Crop
think
top?
I probably had on like I was probably just like Fred Durst.
Oh,
It was in the
that's hot too.
Yeah.
late '90s. Yeah, red.
Yeah.
Fred, late '90s Fred Durst could get
Jean
it.
shorts. Yeah, he could. He
Actually,
was,
the present day one could
he
probably
was,
get it
yeah,
too.
He could.
John, do you want to go out and try to start your car, and then
we'll deal with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
all right.
You embarrassed him by bringing it. You belittled him.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah,
did?
you belittled him.
I
a little
didn't
bit.
do it on purpose.
He
I
also
just-
has
it's
to
like-
get to
Way to
his
cuck
job.
old John.
Yeah, it's like, hey, shoot, is now a good time to talk about your ED?
That's what the radio does. Passive aggressive bring up something that no one wants to talk about.
So they give the storyteller the best car, right? Why would you do that?
Everybody
I'm
back to
sorry.
station. Like,
I'm sorry, John. I shouldn't
That's
have
okay.
brought it up. I
He
shouldn't have
gave
brought
you
it
a
up.
free book for
I just
you.
give you a free book.
that's what we get. You got a keychain and a free book.
I mean, how much
make
could
fun
they
of a
be?
man.
I mean, at this point, the paper prices are down. It's the best time to produce books. Anyway, all right, guys. Bungalore and the Bus on Fridays, and buy the book online.
There you go.
All right, perfect.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
See ya. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
We have special guests in studio. Do you want to get to them now, or do we have anything we need to knock out of the way first? You know, the promotional aspect of what we do here that I fail miserably every single day when we record.
Well, I will say we're doing BDM Appreciation Week in 2 weeks starting April 17th. If you're not a BDM, sign up because we've got a Nintendo Switch.
We do.
got 3 Oculuses. We got a hot tub that Daniel was showing us in lunch break, like the promotional video.
Oh, it's so nice.
Inflatable hot tub. but
it's a good
nice.
one. Though. We didn't cheap out on the inflatable hot
Yeah.
tub.
And I just started going over through the gift certificates, and we've got over 300 different gift certificates and drink cards
Yeah.
and stuff that we're, giving away. And, we're randomly giving away to BDMs. And if you're signed up, you have a chance to win. And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's a way for us to say thank you
It's
to
to
all.
celebrate you guys that have believed in us, that propped up our show, 11, 12
Yeah.
years ago when we started this. We wouldn't be able to do any of this and continue to do it without you guys supporting us. And the BDM members are the backbone of what we do, and they consistently step up when we have charity events that we need help for kids.
Yeah.
The BDMs are the first ones there with thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars for Yellow Brick Road. I mean, this is all of our BDM members, signing up to get the extra shows and events. Yeah, the events have kind of gone to the wayside, but we're open, baby. We're going
Yeah,
to start
well,
rolling
yeah.
those back out again. So
We're planning them
We are.
literally this week. Plus, our project for BDMs only, the AirT&D
Yeah.
is going to get up and running.
little AirT&D action. Don't know what that is? You got to sign up to be a BDM.
So if you are currently a BDM, just make sure your address is correct on our website. And if it's not correct, you have to re-enter your credit card number.
Yep, that's for
it
your
to
security.
save it.
Yeah.
So that's all at tomandan.com.
All right.
All right. Killer Bees is here. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great, man. Good to see you guys. Sorry we were a little bit tardy. We were hydroplaning our way
It's
here.
raining crazy outside.
It's raining crazy
Yeah, welcome back to
outside.
Florida. And everybody in Florida knows how to drive in the rain. You put your hazards on and you go real slow or real fast. Either.
One is more fun than the other.
It's true.
True. One causes a lot more talk, gives you stories to tell.
It's true.
The other one, you don't have dents.
Indeed.
So Bees, tell us about the past couple of years, because the last 2 times you were in town, one time we were out of studio, and then I forgot the other reason, but we haven't seen you in a while.
That's right. I think there was a COVID-related thing there.
Oh, yeah, we had COVID back in
well. December,
and then when you guys were going to come by, so COVID got us.
We got COVID for Christmas, so all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we let the kids sit next to the Christmas tree, and then Andrea was in the kitchen, and then I went second floor looking down the stairs. It was great.
Gotcha. We had COVID January before last.
You had early COVID.
We had the one that you lost all your sense of taste and smell.
No, you got the taste one?
That's the good one.
Well, it depends, because you feel bad. You're laying around the house, can't do anything. You need comfort food, and you can taste or smell nothing.
Yeah, I know.
So that was kind of like, and chewing food was weird because it's just something in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre side effect because I've never heard of it with any other either disease or virus
even
or
AIDS. Even AIDS. You can say what you will about HIV and AIDS. You can eat a chili dog, and it's awesome with AIDS.
Decapitation will stop the sense of taste or smell. That's the only other thing.
I didn't know that.
And and it's weird for then so many people to go through it all at once. So like we never experienced losing your taste and smell, and then all of a sudden we're like, all right, 5 million people did it, or whatever it is. Like how many people actually lost it. But I know a bunch of random people that I know got the taste and smell.
Yeah, perfume quit selling. I mean,
I didn't get
cologne.
I didn't get the one where it goes away, but I got the one for a split second, like a couple of days. I got it where everything was different. And what I mean by that, the one I told you about, is like barbecue sauce smelled like perfume, like what you're saying.
Right.
Like barbecue sauce, anything with like a vinegar in it. And I love my sauces. I'm a hot sauce, barbecue sauce guy. I mean, those are the things I put that on everything.
That's who you are.
Yeah, that's who I am in my core. And everything was just everything was a lot more pungent, a lot more. It's hard to explain, It's like, and when you tell it to people, they're like, he's crazy. I never believed in it. You get those people too.
So, Bees, I know that we talked about before about you doing a lot of cruises and stuff like that. Right. I know that all shut down. So, what happened with you? Which way did you pivot once Corona came?
Well, what we were kind of saying, of course, everybody was quarantined and stuff like that. While we were coming out of quarantine, March of last year, March 1st, I went into the hospital with a freaking heart attack down in Mobile. And in the course of 25 days, from March 1st till March 26th, I had between 15 and 20 heart attack.
Oh my God.
40 years of being on tour eating road food. So I had 100% blockage.
100%? Oh my God.
In one of the arteries, and a bunch of blockage in others.
Well, when you have correct me if I'm wrong, when you get 100, there's limited ways that they can get you out of this scenario, right?
Well, we went into the hospital and they did a heart catheterization where they send that thing up into your heart to see what is what, and they found the blockages, but the vessels that were affected were the same size of the smallest stents, and they were afraid they were going to rupture those vessels by trying to force them in. So they sent me home for 25 days to quote unquote exercise, meaning just get up and walk every day, and taking vasodilators, and nitroglycerin is what they give you when you're actively having a heart attack. They had me taking time-released nitroglycerin twice a day, and then they gave me the little bottles of the teeny pills. In the movies when you see when somebody's having a heart attack in the movies, and they stick the little pill
Oh wait,
in
no,
the
that
mouth.
was the scene from the thing where she doesn't do it. What was it? Was it Ozark or no? Like one of the
Ozark. Oh yeah.
Where she goes
Spoilers.
and I'm sorry. I'm just I'm
But
sorry.
but that so I was taking the time released nitro twice a day and walking in the backyard. They were trying to get these vessels bigger. I was afraid to walk around the block in our subdivision because I was afraid I'd fall over in somebody's flower bed
and they wouldn't find him.
Yeah,
Oh my
nobody
God.
would find me.
Were you freaking out the
So-
whole time, Bees?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
have to say
Yeah,
yes
I
to that.
appreciate you being so candid and honest
I'm
about
gonna, have
it.
to, I'm gonna have to say yes to that.
I've met you and known you many years. I think you can. Everybody in here would be a nervous wreck. So were you all up
Right.
in your own head about
Dude,
this?
when they put me in the first time they did the catheter thing, you know, when I woke up from it, they informed me we were able to do nothing to help you. So that was kind of a downer. But when I was in that cath lab, true story, when I was in that cath lab, man, I was wigging, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I was
bet.
like, oh my God, I'd
Yeah.
never been through anything like that. So I'm praying.
Yeah.
I'm praying for relief from anxiety, from fear, and all that, and nothing is working. And it's true story. So I'm laying there, and they rolled this stretcher in beside me. I couldn't see the person. There was like a curtain there, but I could have touched them with my hand, and it was a little old lady. I could tell by her voice. The nurse was going down her checklist, going, have you ever had so-and-so arterial disease? She's like, yes, I have. And every question she asked was sadder. And she asked her, she goes, do you have somebody we can call when we're doing the procedure? I don't have anybody.
Oh my God, please.
And that was so sad. And I was laying there freaking, and I prayed for that lady, and my fear went away. So I just want to put that out there to people, that's a real thing that I experienced, not hearsay. That's a real thing
I get it.
that went on with me. Anyway,
That's a real relationship and energy exchange between you and that lady
Yeah.
and God or a higher
Correct.
power, a being or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah, that's yours.
Correct.
Well,
I
it's
got
kind of
you.
like the psychology in AA when it helps you recover if you help someone else recover. So it's like it kind of makes sense to me, the psychology
Yeah.
of like you
gotta
changing
give
your
up.
focus to help someone else makes you feel better. I can understand that.
well, and the way I term it, the way it strikes me is I prayed for somebody else and I got the blessing.
yeah,
I like that.
So, and I choose to believe that. So they send me home to walk, and we've got a big backyard. So I'm walking in the backyard, and just taking a shower and brushing my teeth would make these heart attacks come on. So they would start in the pads of the thumbs on both hands. And it was like a dull toothache.
Oh, this is the
kind
worst
of
thing you can tell a
pain.
hypochondriac. My thumbs are, I got crazy thumbs right now. They are bumping and bumping.
Well, and then the pain would move up my arms,
It
and
is.
it would feel like
He's feeling it.
I'm feeling
and
it.
and it would feel like I didn't have blood in them.
Yes,
Kind of ache,
that-
like the blood was cut
Oh,
off.
I hope Seth is listening.
So
Sorry.
that's the way it manifested itself in physically when I felt it. So
And they said like, well, don't come back until you're like, because if
We
I'm
need you full real
Bees,
bad.
if I'm having a noticeable heart attack, I'm gonna freak out and then go to the hospital and be like, it's happening. You cannot leave me alone. Like I'm having you gotta fix this.
So in addition to the time released nitro, I was taking the little emergency pills. Because when I would try to walk in the backyard, I'd feel it coming on again, and I would take one of those. Taking a shower and brushing my teeth would cause it to happen.
Oh my God.
So I would wake up.
This is the most
Wait a minute.
anxiety-riddled thing I've ever heard of.
I
That's
do like the idea of never showering and brushing my teeth again. I do like that. I do like the idea of like, this is just me. I have to be dirty.
It's like, hey, we can't fix you. Just go home, walk around your block till you have
take
a heart
these pills.
attack.
Take
and
these
then
tiny pills.
take the pills when you're having a heart attack. And do that for a couple weeks, and then we can fix you.
And if
I'm
you
like,
make
no.
it through that, then you're worth working on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would wake up in the middle of the night having a heart attack, take emergency nitroglycerin, go back to sleep, and Terry, my wife, would sit there bolt upright, wide-eyed in the bed for hours like, oh my gosh, did he just go back to sleep or is he dead?
Yeah,
Oh my God! I didn't think
Terry,
about that. You
yeah,
poor thing. Yeah,
you're
you're
sitting
sitting there
there,
watching your husband. He's I'm tight, and he's got the sweetest kindness. Like I'm having another heart attack. Here I go, killer bees,
But-
save up.
After like the 10
What are you doing,
Save
bees?
up.
My God, this is crazy, man. I did not know this.
Hold on, after-
we knew that you had a heart attack. Full transparency.
Yeah, I thought it was one.
Terry
you go to the the
reached out to
doctor.
us. They had talked to us. We sent love. We're like, oh my God, we're so glad he's okay. But I didn't know it was like this, bro. This is like extreme.
Did you get used to it after like the
Like ninth?
yeah, like the 10th one? You're like, oh, you know, like
I
the
think
guy.
you're a tough MFer if you can sit through a heart attack and calmly take your pills and another one.
Well, here's what I
You're tough as
learned.
hell.
Here's what I learned before I went and walked. I learned to go ahead and take the emergency pill because I knew within about 3 laps of walking, I would be under another heart attack and would have to quit walking, and I needed to get those vessels bigger. So we finally got that done. So I've got a couple of stents in, and they also did angioplasty, the balloon thing, and so I'm good to go now.
My dad had that. Yeah,
So
that's good stuff, man.
So I'm good to go now.
Well done.
And
Did you feel a difference in your energy level and stuff?
I did. And corporate, my wife Terry, we call her corporate because she's the one that books me.
We know corporate.
Corporate had told me for several months in advance. She goes, man, you're not, you don't have energy on stage. You've slowed down. You're not killer bees in them. You're not out there crushing and
So you
standing on
noticed-
their
Take
neck.
these pills and have some heart attacks. Come on, man.
Like,
You notice a difference in energy level. Yeah.
correct. So now I have a difference, a very recognizable and feelable difference in energy level. Also, and even more important, cognizantly, I'm getting more blood to my brain, so I'm quick again.
Yeah.
In my head, I'll write better. I think quicker and faster and more clear. And then just on a spiritual level, everything is better.
Yeah.
Everything is better.
Perspective,
dude.
right? Like you've been there.
Perspective.
You
So, yes,
stared
sir,
right
buddy.
into the eye.
Yeah.
You saw it.
Yeah.
Luckily,
And
you
here's-
have somebody so wonderful by your side to
And
you know,
hot, so I had motivation.
that too.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to say that. I don't want to get beat up by a guy who's got the pill.
I'm packing.
I know.
So-
Exactly. In both ways. I know what that means. I'll side arm and in the pants.
Oh,
but
big bees.
my point is like that. Yeah, you've looked right at it and you come out of that. So life now is.
It's
different.
beautiful.
It's
Yes,
different.
great. And here's what. Here's
I
what.
wish I almost died.
Tom, here's what scared me. Here's what scared me a bunch, man. Was during that 25 days, I was barely ambulatory. I could not get up and walk far. I couldn't do much stuff, and my biggest fear, because I didn't think I was going to die, because if I was going to die from a heart attack, I'd have died that first day.
Yeah.
Right.
And the fact that they're medicating me and letting me go home, I didn't think at that point, maybe ignorantly, that I was going to croak from it. But we've all seen people that are so debilitated and infirm, you hear that word, infirm, that they can barely, you see the people that can barely walk, they kind of shuffle around and stuff. That was the condition I was in, and that I did not want to be like that.
That's not you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've known you a long time.
Want
That's
to
not
be
you.
like that, dude, and that helped motivate me to do my exercise, to change my diet, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
What have you
that
had to
was-
change? What are the?
Well, I had to quit eating the love of my life, which is smoked sausage.
No.
You know,
You're a hot dog guy? You like hot dogs?
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Well, for 40 years, I'd get off stage at midnight, and you've been. Spoken word is the hardest performance art that there is.
Oh yeah, comedy is hard.
And
Yeah,
even if
it's
you're
the hardest.
crushing, it's stressful. And so you want comfort food. And for all these years, you think back 40 years I've been doing it,
Yeah.
your options late night were a chili dog or a cheeseburger.
Sure.
So you would get both.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, literally that,
yeah.
and so sausage for breakfast, all this kind of
Sure.
stuff.
And what's weird too is, Bees, you've always been in good shape. You've never been a big dude. Like you see these big dudes, and you're like, oh, like this guy's got a problem.
People assume if you're bigger that
Yeah.
you're unhealthy, and if
You-
you're not, then you
Exactly.
are healthy.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
It is. It's
Yeah.
not true. But in my I could see where you're like, well, I'm not obese. I'm not overweight, so I'm probably fine.
But you look really good. I mean, there is a difference in how you look now, and then to the last time we saw you.
Yeah,
like
and it's from the inside out as well, dude. And I'm I've always been pretty dang funny, but
what are you talking about? You've always been hilariously funny and super kind.
But I am way funny now. I'm just gonna. I'll put that out
like
there,
that.
dude, because I am on fire with this new chance that I got, and
love
things
that.
are happening, dude. April the 26th, I will do my 9th appearance on the Grand Ole Opry.
Can we talk about this for a second? Because
Yes.
Frank told us about this.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a massive fan of the Grand Ole Opry. I've been twice or three times to see whatever was on the bill at that time. I got to see Lee Greenwood play there. I've gotten to see my dad, actually. Mom and dad went to see Little Jimmy Dickens and like Pearl, Minnie Pearl, and like I forget that. He had the Jackets, Porter Wagner, like all of the old like traditional like true country artists that have been on the Opry stage. For you to be also, you're in a very, very, very coveted select group of comedians that have been selected to be on that stage. It's not like any comedian could just walk in and do the spoken word, as we're going to call it, on the Opry stage. It's a different animal than that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking like the only person I think I've ever known, and I think maybe I don't think we got to see him, but I think as a kid, one of the recordings was Jerry Clower.
Clower did it a bunch. Henry Cho has done it several times. Henry Cho's a great comic. But
it's a very big deal. 9 times. This will be the 9th.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I was on. You know who Jelly Roll is?
Yeah, Jelly Roll. We got him on that couch.
I was on with Jelly Roll.
Oh, I watched that performance.
Right on his debut. We were on the Opry together. So is that
That's
crazy? Is
dude.
that nuts,
He's
man?
like one of the most heralded independent hip hop rap artists, country singers, whatever you want to package him into. For you to be on that bill, it's fitting though. But you guys, that's a good mix.
Yeah. So we are on fire, man. I just got notice, which I can't speak of yet, but I forgot not to speak of it. I just got notice that I've been re-upped for my 7th season on Moonshiners on Discovery Channel.
Awesome.
And so, but what tops all that is my performances Friday and Saturday night at Porky's Comedy Club in St. Cloud, Florida. That's the reason I get up in the morning. That would be it. So
go see Killer Bees at Porky's. It's a great comedy club.
It is. They always treat us right. They treat their comics right. Good spot.
Yeah, 100%. So, Bees, with this like newfound second chance, do you like? For me, it would be like hard for me to go back and I don't know. I would feel like I need to do something.
Oh, you mean go in a different direction?
Or like I'm saying, like, it would show me that I'm like there's not that much time, so I'm gonna do only things kind of like a
that you've never done.
Yeah, like that. Did you feel like did you want to go out and do things that like bucket list things?
Well, so much of my life is comprised of getting to do stuff I would have never dreamed I would get to do. So my angle of attack now is to appreciate and not take for granted those things. I mean, I get to tour the country and perform stand-up for a living. I get to make moonshine on TV with hillbillies.
Your job is the bucket list.
Legendary moonshine hillbillies. There, you can put those adjectives in front of them. It's not like they're just random hillbillies.
Yes, so it makes me. I'm just so much more appreciative, man. And
you can hear it,
and it tastes better.
But you've always been appreciative too.
Well, I have, but not to this degree, my friend. And the brand new line of Killer Bees Moonshine will be on the market in another month or 6 weeks whenever the feds end up giving us our permit.
What's holding it up? Name, label?
It will be called, the first batch we're going to do is Killer Bees Appalachian Ambrosia. It's a fruity moonshine. We're shooting for the female demographic. It's like 60 proof, not real hard to drink. It's got grapefruit and a mandarin orange and coconut and stuff in
Appalachian Ambrosia.
And we made an Ambrosia on Moonshiners, and they aired it because we were going to do pecan pie first. That was going to be our first run, but since they aired on national TV us making an Ambrosia, we decided to switch gears real quick because we hadn't started production and do that. And so Corporate and I sat at home with jars of corn liquor, White Lightning made in the woods, and experimented with flavoring and recipes for week after week, tasting it sharing samples with neighbors and with people. We'd take it on the road, and we have friends all across the country, and would taste it. And we're shooting for the female demographic. On the freaking label, it says "She Shared Approved."
Okay, yeah, so
Awesome.
you're gonna lean in fully. I like
Right,
that.
makes 30% of husbands hot again.
Okay, all
And
right.
Moonshine's good for your heart, right? It loosens everything up.
It's got
Really and truly, the overindulgence in alcohol will raise your triglycerides,
Yeah,
which has something to do with cholesterol. So I think that's bad.
Yeah,
But
you have
one
too much,
sip,
yeah, but
you
a
do
little
sip,
bit,
it'll
yeah.
grease up your knees. I feel like.
Yeah. It's a sausage that gets you.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
is.
that
That's it.
makes you eat the other sausage dog. Right.
It is true. When I get drunk, I'm all about every piece of sausage. I eat it
Dude,
all.
I'm telling I put it on the grill. I put it in my red beans and rice. I'll hide it under my pillow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Sausage is we go to his.
2022. Can't we come out with a good tasting sausage?
It's the only
that has
thing he
no
cooks.
cholesterol or like bad thing that's good for your heart. I
I'm
don't
glad
know.
we're all sausage men here. This guy, you go to
I
his
guess
pool
I'm-
party, he'll just get sausage. That's all he cooks is sausage. Just cuts them up in little pieces.
Now, what's your favorite sausage?
Oh,
Well,
my God.
I'll take any sausage.
spicy chorizo.
Can I-
Spicy
can I
chorizo.
I
see-
like spicy chorizo. I grew up in Miami, so
Can I send you some smoked sausage
Come
from
on now.
Alabama? Some of the the
listen.
brand is Conecuh.
I want it, but the whole walking around the block heart attack thing kind of makes me.
You're scaring him, Beans.
It scared me a little bit. I gotta say,
Yeah,
because
send him the girl
the first
moonshine.
thing is like I eat sausage all the damn time, and
he
I'm,
does.
I'm
He's
stressed
like,
out. Alcohol.
I'm not trying. I didn't even think about that. I'm
not,
sorry.
You know, I'm not that. I mean, me and Bees aren't that far. I, mean,
I didn't think about that, but it is the only thing he grills.
I'm
this
close.
guy hasn't made a hamburger. He's never made anything other than sausages on his
I'm
grill.
closer to Bees than Doja Cat. I know that, so
Wow.
it's not going good. I watched the Grammys. Anyway, sorry, Bees.
Let me ship you some spicy Conecuh sausage.
Listen,
Smoked
we'll
pork
talk
sausage
about it.
I
from
will-
Conecuh County, Alabama.
I will take it and throw in some pills. So, you know, if you have
Hey.
any extra heart attack pills.
And your
Yeah.
son's a sausage man because you know his boys were vegetarian, both of them. But the oldest is no longer vegetarian because he fell on some Hillshire Farms Little Smokies.
Well,
And
now I
it
kinda feel
changed
bad.
his GD life.
Changed his life.
Should I get him
made that
addicted to
boy-
Little Smokies?
You did get him addicted, and he was a
Okay.
vegan, closest to a vegan you could get.
Yeah, well,
and
this is the opposite.
sweet little boy. His name is Tommy, named right after his dad, and his dad gave him that Gateway sausage. And we all know what our first sausage. And you taste it, and you're like, "Well, I mean, that's the only thing I'm eating until I
Well,
walking around the block taking my pills because
Yeah,
it's
no.
amazing."
Yeah. Now I feel like I'm maybe you know, setting a bad example and get him used to sausage. Anyway, I'm sure
Well,
it's
you
fine.
know what? That's something for him to overcome.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. He didn't have appreciation for life. Be
Yeah, you
better off.
can't coddle the boy.
I know.
You're trying to raise a man, aren't you?
Again, Killer Bees. He's going to be at Porky's Comedy Club in
Indeed.
St. Cloud Friday and Saturday.
Correct. That's
All right.
great. 8:00 shows.
Perfect. Bees, anytime you're in town, please give us a
Please,
call.
man.
Come by. We're glad to have you. We're glad you're okay, man. Because
Thank
when
you.
we
I
heard
love
we
you
were-
guys, man.
We love you too, and please pass on to corporate, who is here, and I can tell her myself.
Yeah.
But thank you for always being so friendly and kind to us. We love you guys, and we're just glad you're all right.
Awesome. And thanks for letting me on, man. Love you.
Anytime,
Good to see
man.
you.
No
Anytime.
problem.
We'll take a quick break and
Yep.
come back with more a corporate time.
Welcome back to a corporate time. So we've got a lot of subgroups within our BDM community.
Yeah, like if you've signed up to be a BDM member, you've heard us, we yell about it all the time. The BDMs are our subscribers. They pay a little bit of extra money to get extra shows. And before COVID, it was events crazy. And it will get back to that. But you can pay just a little bit extra and be part of a private group of people that are our main listeners. They're like the backbone of the show. They've been with us since the day that we decided to kind of turn this more into
Yeah.
like an independent broadcasting entity.
If it wasn't for BDMs, we would not have a business. No way, because
They're
it's not even about the subscription money, which is half of our business, but the other half is the BDMs
Participation.
participate and support our sponsors, and it really is like 90% of people who use our sponsors are
Could be
BDMs.
more. Could be more than
Yes,
90.
yeah,
Could be
it's-
closer to like a 96, 98. scenario.
So it's basically the only way we could do this is BDMs, but we've got a lot of BDMs, thankfully, and they started subgroups that are attached from. I mean, they're part of the BDM group, but they're like into outdoors.
Yeah, like a boating
parenting
group, a
and
watch group, a gun group, a hiking group, a car group,
plant group,
Yeah.
growers and showers.
Yep,
and,
there's a music group, a vinyl group, musicians group.
nerds, geeks, and gamers.
One of
group.
our biggest, and one of the ones I'm most proud of, because they actually dedicated their time to cleaning up a road. Our ladies, our side chick group, which is
Yeah.
ladies only. I can't even go in there to check it out. But those guys are above and beyond. And one of our crown jewel groups is the CBE group.
Yeah.
Craft beer enthusiasts. These guys are amazing.
Yeah, and if you like craft beer, reach out to the CBE group and see how you can get involved. They're constantly doing meetups and cool promotions
big
and
group.
things. And it's basically turned into a media entity, if you think about it. It's like a giant Facebook page that has a lot of influence and power, and it gets people together, and it's everybody in there is like-minded in the
sure.
fact that they all like craft beer, and they also do good things for charity and raise money, and that's what we're going to talk about today. How you doing, Troy? Troy's here.
Good. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about what the CBE group is doing and what you're here to promote.
Okay, I'm here to promote a raffle that I'm doing. I've done it once before for the JDRF, which is the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund.
Okay.
Nice.
It's near and dear to me because my daughter at 26 months old was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic.
That's got to be difficult.
Yeah, it was rough.
What
It was
goes
rough.
through your mind? Like we're dads.
Also, how did they even know
Yeah.
that young?
We didn't. It's 2013. I just graduated from UCF. We went on vacation. Kind of noticed my daughter was lethargic the whole time, but never really thought anything of it. Even months before that, she wouldn't gain weight. She's just kind of out of it, peeing a lot in bed at night and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so we got back. 2 days after coming back from Colorado on vacation, going out to breweries and all that
Nice.
good stuff.
Yeah.
She just seemed sick. And about 3 hours after we said, this doesn't seem right, we were like, okay. Her breathing started getting labored. We said, let's go to the Arnold
Gets a
Palmer.
little more scary.
Yeah, we were like, this isn't a head cold like we thought.
Sure.
Get there within 3 minutes. She's rushed into the ER. All kinds of wires and everything on her, and that's when they tell us she's a type 1 diabetic. At the time, we had no idea what it was.
Yeah, and that's got to be
Wow.
terrifying as a parent, knowing that you were almost saddled with protecting her from something that you didn't even know was going on. It's
Yes.
like an impossible task for a parent.
Yes.
How's mom doing at this point?
We're both a mess. I
Right.
mean, right at that time, it's a mess. And, they tell us if you would have waited till the morning, she probably would have fell asleep and never woke up again.
Dear God.
So what happens is the body attacks the pancreas. It thinks it's something that it needs to fight. It stops the pancreas from making insulin, which carries sugar through the body, basically. So makes the body not be able to process sugar.
Yeah, and that causes a ton of damage, and that's where the problem comes.
Yes.
So what is the next step? Obviously, she has to start taking insulin daily.
And how did they
that's
get
hard
that
with a
stable? I mean, obviously, how did they get to fix it? I guess
We were in the ER for 3 or 4 days, I believe it was. They put her up in the PICU, the pediatric ICU. My wife wouldn't. She stayed in bed with her the whole time. Slept in the same bed. She made him roll in a big double bed instead of the little bed for her. I slept on the couch. That first night, it was an unbelievable stress. I actually slept on the little couch, and I peed the bed the first night. I was so stressed out.
Yeah.
It takes a real badass of a dad to come in here and admit that. I would hug you right now if I could. You're a badass. Real dads pee the bed when they're scared out of their goddamn mind.
But it's like, 10 and a half craft beers later.
Yeah.
I peed the bed too.
Not saying all
Also,
sense.
I have a
You're amongst friends.
Yeah.
I have a tendency when I'm coping and using beer to cope to pee my couch.
I've done it after every wedding in the Bahamas. Tons of times.
I'm doing it right now during your story.
So now after you figured it out, and I'm sure you start getting into it's a life-changing thing where you have to get into a new routine, and you know, I'm sure giving a kid injections. I mean, my kids, every single time we go to the doctor, we're like, "You're gonna shot," like they're terrified, and I'm like, "No," and then I just lie every time. But then it's like they are terrified of shots, and every kid is. So I'm sure that's a difficult.
Yeah, at the start, and even now it's a little different. But at the start, it was shots. You know, the technology wasn't advanced. I mean, in the 9 years almost that she's had type 1 diabetes, the technology's been great. But yes, it was shots, probably 9 a day for a 26-month-old kid. So before you go out, if we take her out to dinner, right there at the table, instead of taking her away and into the bathroom, and she gets a shot, and you know the looks you get from people like, oh, what are they doing to
Right.
her child? So and
it's like when I do use my vape at an Applebee's at the table. You know, like, it's medical marijuana. It's legal. Nothing to see here.
You try to plume the smoke underneath the table.
Well, I
but
blow it underneath the table, but it always poofs out the side where that thing, they have that box now where you're supposed to either A, play tic-tac-toe, or B, pay your bill.
Oh, yeah.
I get distracted by the tic-tac-toe.
So let's get to how people can help and how people can get involved, and you can raise some more money.
So every year, it got put off for COVID for a couple of years, but every year the JDRF does something called a OneWalk. It's basically families, companies donate money, and everybody just walks. It's usually a 5K out at UCF. I think this year it was pushed back a little, so it's at Cranes Roost Park. But what I am doing is I've went around to a lot of the craft breweries, a couple of beer reps, and asked for donations for a raffle. And then kind of set up this system of getting donations in through my team page. And then at the end of the time, I'd do a raffle of different things. So the first time I did it, it was a whole bunch of beer in 3 lots, and it ended up that 2 people won because one person donated like almost $400.
Oh wow, nice!
And had a lot of tickets in the bucket, so he won a lot of beer.
Right.
So this year I kind of split it up a little. I've got around 8 to 10 lots of craft beer and merchandise from the Commission Beer Chamber.
Nice.
Troy Barfoot at Delirium gave a whole bunch of stuff. Whippoorwill, Red Light. I mean, just about anybody you can think of.
Man,
Big
beer
Rick
guys
at
are
Central
so
28.
sweet.
They're so giving.
Yeah,
yes.
they really are, man. And they treat each other right. And if they can give you a product or something that's going to help your charity, they typically will. Hats off to our craft beer guys. I mean, I think that's why CBE likes to try and get involved in things like this too.
Yeah. And
How do people buy the raffle tickets?
I have it's basically a link. You go through the JDRF, you donate to the JDRF in the OneWalk under my name, basically.
Troy Rogers.
Yes.
Yep.
And it basically tells me who it is, and then I make raffle tickets, buy raffle tickets, put people's names on them.
Okay.
And go. So I can obviously share that link with you guys.
And an odd fun fact, did you know the abbreviation for type 1 diabetes is T1D?
Yes.
Really?
It's almost like we should be like the official podcast of type 1 diabetes.
We promote that T1D. Will turn your feet purple. Sorry. I shouldn't. I'm sorry, Troy.
Okay.
As I was saying it, I was like, "Don't say it," but I just said it.
Really?
I was like, "Don't make a joke
As
about
I was
diabetes."
saying it, I was saying, don't say it.
in my head.
That's how bad his ADD is. He's battling with himself.
As I was saying it, I was saying, don't say it. That's my favorite thing that's ever been said on the show. Oh my God,
so
that's great.
Let's be specific, just so people can get it online.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Like, and I know we'll post the link and on social.
Yeah,
whatever,
we're gonna have it all on our social, all on our pages. So people that after you hear this, you can just search where you find Tom and Dan, and we'll put the links up there.
But do you know the exact website, Troy?
Yeah, it's a JDRF OneWalk.
If you go to JDRF.org, I'm sure you can
yes,
just search
and
for
look up
Troy Rogers.
it's my daughter's name. Is
Oh,
the
Raylan.
Team Raylan is the
Spelled
team right there.
Raelyn.
There you go.
Perfect.
Raelyn. You can type in her name, and I believe it'll pop right up. Or Troy Rogers, it'll pop right up. I've got the link. I'll save it, so I'll have it with my email. If you want to find it later, you can always show@tomanddan.com. Use that email, and I'll shoot you the link.
So, Troy, let's talk a little about yourself.
Yes.
Because I noticed when you were telling the story, you said you graduated from UCF, but you said a couple of years ago?
2013.
2013. Well, now I consider that a couple of years ago, even though it was
Everything, if it's 2015,
almost a
years
decade
ago,
ago.
yeah.
Anything in the teens, the 20 teens, I'm like, that was just.
I'm like, I looked exactly the same. No, I was so fat.
That's an old man move.
Oh, my
You start
God.
looking at dates, and I remember like stepdad used to do it with like the 70s or whatever.
I'm like, 2006, that's new.
I know. I'm like, your house is built in 2001. That's not that
Brand
long
new
ago.
house, my God.
Anyway, so did you go back to college, or did you start late? Or how did that work?
I started right out of high school and completely flunked out of everything. Basically, I went back in my 30s. Basically,
That's what I did.
Right in, I went back to Valencia after probably 10 years of not being in college. And
Yeah.
then
So you did the Daniel. I went back to UCF after 19 years of being away from school.
Yep.
Was it just because it was always a goal that you wanted to fulfill? Was it work related?
It was work related. I 4-year degree. I wouldn't have the job I have now without the 4-year degree, even though the experience is what got me the job.
Oh my
But-
God! This is like the exact reason my mom wanted me to go back. I'd be like, I have all the experience. She's like, but you still need the degree.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's got to change in the future, right?
For some jobs, it will never change.
It's
You'll,
true.
you'll
You have
still
to-
need that college. You just will.
They need just something that differentiates you from another candidate for the position, you need that thing. Like, well, college or nothing.
Did you find it to be easier, like I did?
For a while, and then I switched majors. I thought, if I'm doing this for business, I might
You
as
went
well get a
hip-hop
business
dance, didn't
degree.
you? Hip-hop
And I was
dance.
like, no, I actually graduated with a philosophy degree. So
Wow! So you can get off in your own head while your kid's having an emergency. You can contemplate the meaning of life.
So it was a complete
God.
waste. Then you got the degree, but
Yeah.
it's like philosophy.
Yeah, philosophy.
I
Gives you
don't know what that
something
means.
Gives you something to talk about when you're drinking craft beer.
You're right. Yeah. Well, Troy, thanks so much for coming by. I appreciate it.
thank you guys for having me.
And
I
good luck with
appreciate
it again. Again, if you want to go here, and I just want to make sure I get it, the JDRF website, you go to that, and then you type in Raelyn's, Raelyn. You got to type that in. Then you'll find it. Search for Troy.
Can other people add stuff for you to raise money? Because
Yeah,
we'd like to add
definitely.
something.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be great. I can put it
What are
in.
you going to put
Okay.
on there? Hold on. I got to vet what you're offering.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what you're going
I
to
don't
put
know.
me and Sam on the hook for.
Well, it's hard too because I imagine like it's not only Tom and Dan listeners.
Well, you
Obviously,
did already promise Jay from the CBE group that you were going to fill a Tom and Dan dry bag full of gifts
No,
to raffle
wait
off.
a minute.
I just
Did.
got in trouble for giving Kenny a dry bag. I gave Kenny
What?
Game Show Kenny a
Wow,
dry
you
bag.
got a dry bag,
And
huh?
then Tom's like, you can't be giving away this dry bag. So then I yelled at Kenny, who said he would
Kenny
donate.
Samsel?
Samsel. He
No,
said
his game show, Drew. Get it right. Kenny is Kenny the drone.
Kenny the drone.
so
That's how I
anyway,
remember.
so one of these knuckleheads, okay, Tom has...
He's knuckle.
Okay, Tom has a myriad of these like half friends that he just lets his entourage come and do segments on the show. And Kenny is one of his entourage members. And Game Show Drew is one of his entourage members. They're just these dumb friends of his that he gives shows to. It's total nepotism, right? So Kenny, I said, I'll give you a dry bag. And he's like, oh, great. And he's like, And then Tom's like, well, you can't be giving with a dry bag. So I yelled at Kenny and I made sure he donated to Yellowbrick Road. This is a true story. I said, you got to donate to Yellowbrick Road, man. You got to take some heat off of me because Tom's really grinding my balls.
Yeah.
And Kenny's like, all right. And then he donated $20. I'm like, $20? That's a hundo bag all day long. So then he had to go. Then Kenny had to go back and throw another 80 on top. I yelled at him. I'm like, if you don't put that extra 80 on there, you're never coming back in here.
Hold on, if there are only 50 on the side, he could have got it cheaper and bought it from us.
I didn't know there were 50. I never
nice
go on there.
for the kids.
I never
It's
go on our
fine.
website.
So
huh?
one of the things about the raffle that I wanted to bring up, since you guys are gracious enough to put something in, is
Thank you.
I've got a whole bunch of small ones, and then I've got some large raffle items that. So basically, if you put in more than $50, you get in a different raffle for large items. I've got a pair of Tracy McGrady autographed shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
I opened those and
I want to wear them every day.
He's got
So
tickets to the
there's-
2023 Cocoa Village Brewers
Yeah,
Bash.
Paul Hill put in some tickets.
I'm gonna
for the
win both.
Brewers
I'm gonna
Bash.
wear my Tracy McGrady boots to the Brewers Bash.
Hold on.
Tickets
Yeah,
to-
they're size 16, so they're.
Oh,
They're
my
signed, yeah.
God.
Can I just buy them? Because
gonna-
I want to buy them for Daniel to wear.
Buy one. I'll drive them to work.
Have you ever worn shoes that were taller than you? 16. That's unbelievable.
Oh, Big McGrady.
Oh,
man.
16.
Yeah, that's a large.
Troy G goes, 16. That's a lie.
Don't talk about it, Troy.
Yeah, so and
a
then
lot.
we've got some Orlando City tickets that are like
Yep.
second row up from the pit off the
Oh,
pitch,
nice.
and about like.
So you can see
Ooh.
how bad Pato
mid-
is.
So we're-
You know,
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I got
No,
some-
he deserves
I
that.
got
He
some-
deserves
He's
that.
running off the show. He quit.
The rest of the team,
No.
Oscar, they're great. No, they're.
I
we got a good ass
guarantee
team.
you I know
Yeah.
what Tom's about to grab.
We got a-
Don't give that to him, Tom. Nobody wants
We got a
it.
good ass team.
I knew
it.
Goddamn
Yeah.
deflated ball.
Oh, no, that is, dude. That's $1,000 all day long. That's got every. That's got caca on it.
You said that's $1,000 all day long.
That's got-
That's what we paid for it at the time.
And this is back when it was a hot ticket.
So, because some would consider me a hero for doing this,
Wow.
I would just, I mean, I think
I
I'll say
consider
kind of
you
a
got
hero.
bullied into wasting our company's money.
We have a signed, deflated Orlando.
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
The deflation is
Yeah.
signed.
And it is signed by all the, well, maybe now-
2016 team?
Is it 2016?
2017.
Yeah, what
team?
year was that?
I don't know.
Is
It was
Kaká
something-
even on here? He
Yeah,
probably-
Kaka's on there.
Is that Kaká?
Kaka's the one that's a sticker because he wasn't there. They put a stick. No, it's real.
You know what? If you're a famous athlete, get a signature that I can understand, I can read, because like I'm looking at them, like
You
can't even
can't read though.
No, but it's all scribble scrabble, so we can't tell who's
Pull
signing
your
it.
pants up, rappers. You hip hop rappers with your pants are down, sagging your ass down.
No, I'm just saying if I can't.
Can't read your signature. What is that? Chinese. You're eking into racist grandpa territory.
No, but how am I supposed to know who
If you're
signed
from
this
South
if I can't
America,
read
if
it?
you're from San Paulo, you speak Portuguese, sign with an American swoosh.
Like, shouldn't Kaká's signature just be Kaká?
It is.
But no, where is it?
Give it to me.
Or-
I found it once before. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Anyway,
Hold on, I'll find it. Are we giving this to Troy? Where's Kaká?
you probably get more for
Oh
something.
my God! Hold on a second. Tony Dungy signed it.
Oh my God!
From the Colts.
You want Tony Dungy?
This is a Tony Dungy Indianapolis Colts. It's got God Bible verses all over it. Old God Tony Dungy. There it is, right there.
It's not
That's
though.
Kaká.
It's not
And this
blatantly
right here it
Kaká.
says Pink Eddie. That's my bookie. Hey, I'm Pink Eddie.
Anyway, so we'll get you some stuff though. We'll have to figure out how to get our $1,000 out of this bowl.
Well, first thing we do is blow it, put a little extra air in it.
I was gonna display this in a glass
He
case.
wanted me to buy a glass case.
and then we just put it in a bucket.
That's a slowly deflated
No
for the past 6
BS.
years.
Troy, no
For
BS.
years.
That's $1,000. It has some of the biggest soccer stars that have played in Orlando.
Yeah.
We bought that. Told I'll put it in a glass case. We took it and put it in an old metal Cigar City bucket, and it sat on top of it's been in there 5 years.
Yeah. Because I got bullied into buying it because
Now the truth comes out.
it was for our foot golf tournament, and we did the same thing, raise money for Yellowbrook, and then
And you were trying to do the thing that the Falcons were trying to do, where
to
you
raise
take
the
Deshaun
price,
Watson
yeah.
and you bid on him and you raise up the price. Although I think Arthur Blank really did want to get Deshaun Watson because I think he feels that he needs to kind of pick up where he left off on the salvation of Michael Vick. You see what I'm saying? There is something there where dumb old man saves quarterback's career and life. There's something there that he can't connect the dots. Anyway.
Well, I was drunk, and then I said I'll match any donation if someone donates.
Always donate around Tom when he's drunk.
Yeah, true.
And then they
or
told
ask
me
him for anything when you need.
And then I'm like $1,000.
Yeah.
and then
you asked me what to do, and I said you got to renege on the bid, and you're like, we can't do that. We must be men of our word. And I'm just say you're drunk. Just say you're drunk. I mean, it's no big deal.
No.
Not a big enough company to bid on anything for $100, let alone $1,000.
And then I was sweating. I had to write the check. And then I told Juan, I was like, don't cash this in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we had to wait.
Anyway, Troy, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And guys, if you want to get involved with the CBE group, first become a BDM and then just search BDM CBE group. You'll find it.
Yep, you'll definitely enjoy it. If you love craft beer, you will love that group. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Sanford 1 is here. Dustin's here.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good.
So, Dustin, the Mini Masters is this weekend, and this has become my new favorite Sanford event, just because
I'm wearing my my West End Trading Company. Maybe sort of looks like the Masters, but they certainly didn't produce these, and you can't buy these. Yes, you can. But I have that hat on today for the Mini Masters. I think you're right. This is probably the thing that I'm going to really regret I didn't sign up to play.
Yeah, and
you don't have to sign up. Just show up.
No, I mean, I'm just ready to go. I'm going to have to pull some strings to get out of a dance competition. I'm trying to do that this weekend so I can go with Sam to play some golf.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about it before, but you just go from one bar or restaurant or brewery to another. And
go to Celery City first to grab your card.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starts at Celery City, and then do you know the all the other partners off the top of your head? I mean, is there how many holes?
There's 18 holes.
18 holes, so 18 different bars.
There's actually a few of them that are kind of upset because we have to max it at 18. For one, it takes a long time to play 18 holes. And we just didn't have room for more, but next year we're gonna have to go bigger because pretty much every business in Sanford wants to be a part of it now.
Well, you could run 2 courses and do just like a real Masters, and
that's kind of what we're thinking. We might grow to that because it's been getting a lot of
you do a shotgun start, so you start on different.
You'd almost have to. You'd almost have to.
Yeah.
Like Andrew and I got really into that. We were looking at the golfers leading off today. Of course, this is being taped on a Thursday, but you had some guys that were going off this morning at 9:30, 8:30, and then you had some guys like Rory McIlroy that they're not going to hit the course until 2:30, which to me would be very hot.
Yeah.
Which would you rather play, a little wet and a little cool, or would you rather let it burn off and play hot?
Well, I feel like they're used to just playing in the morning, starting in the morning. So starting in the afternoon would be weird for golfers because it's just it's a start in the morning activity to me.
I know all those old retired guys. They all get out there at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
Every day, that's all they do is get out there at 3 o'clock. They sleep in, have their breakfast.
And you're also isn't it hot? God, man, it's hot.
3 o'clock and hot as hell.
Yeah, I go early. I'm an 8 a.m. guy if I'm going, but I like it because there's nobody out there.
Well,
nobody else wants to go that early.
Yeah.
I used to golf all the time back when I was broadcasting with Drew Garabo. It was our thing, and I'd play golf 4 to 5 times a week. I was like a golfer. And we would go Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. We'd play 1 or even 2 rounds. If we could get in 2 rounds, we'd do 2 rounds of 18 before we'd even make it in for the night show. It was expensive. Yeah. I had a lot of I don't have a family money.
So we know about the Mini Masters this Saturday. I know we also have the food truck.
Yep.
Let's talk about that because
the food truck battle is going to be huge this time because it's our first time moving it to the second Sunday from the third Saturdays. So we went big battle style this time, and we've got 41 food trucks coming out for this.
Wow. So, and that's going to be on the Sanford L? Or,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Any
Same state
competing
as the other one.
or competing, rather, not competing, because that's not an actual word. Do you have any competing food trucks? Does the Amish pretzel truck get mad at the I don't know, the
Auntie Anne's?
Yeah,
I love all the food trucks. They're all wonderful people, but they all get mad at everybody.
Yeah.
all damn day.
Yeah, it does look like
Everybody's mad at everybody.
Yeah,
all the time.
I feel like food trucks, there is a concentration of a little bit of anger finger there.
Yeah,
maybe.
you're gonna put me next to the cotton candy? Jesus, what are you thinking?
Oh, that's got to be hard. Yeah, working out the details of it. Oh, that's got to be hard.
Well, you put all the stress and anxiety of a restaurant in a truck.
and a moving
Tiny
box.
box. and then put them all together. Or at least if you're in your restaurant, you can see like another restaurant far away. But now you're like, they're everywhere, all around me.
That's why we got Sushi and Soul at Celery, though, is because once you see it, it's like, all right, well, you can be successful in a 6-foot box. All right, we'll give you a kitchen. Let's do things.
Right.
And Eric is going to be out. Eric Merchman.
He's got a food truck?
with the Tommy Tent.
Oh.
And
man.
we're a wacky
Wiener cart.
inflatable arm tubeman, which
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, wacky inflatable flailing arm tubeman. Have you seen our tubeman?
Oh, my God, they're amazing.
I was going to apologize because at Pints and Paul's, apparently Eric texted me. He's like, all the dogs are free. Every
the
dog.
tubeman would whoop that. Yours especially, because yours is the jumbo and mine is the large. Yours will whip down, and both of your arms were whacking the dogs on their heads and whacking their faces.
He sent me a video of a bunch of little pee-pee dogs freaking out,
man.
shaking. You know, like tiny dogs, they start shaking.
They're always shaking.
Like
Well, it's like they think they're going to die.
yeah, and they're barking crazy, and then apparently every
That's how
dog,
I'm going to die, by the way. Screaming and shaking.
And so I apologize because apparently it was causing a ruckus. At
Well,
Pints
one
and
of them
Paul's.
bit mine and put a hole in one of my arms of my tubeman. So we got to get that repaired.
So, but he's going to be out at the food truck event, and that starts at
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, and it's a lot of food trucks. How many food trucks do you think, like, let's say, one of our bigger listeners can actually hit? Like, because
10.
You think 10?
10.
But you got to think, so we have judges for this one because it's like a whole battle thing.
Oh, who are the judges?
I don't know.
So they have to eat from
Instagram
all
foodie.
41?
So they're all eating from
Wow.
all 41. We've done this
man.
before, and the biggest we've had before, I think, was 36, and I was one of the judges, and it's painful.
I did it at I did it at Detective Barb's chili cook-off. I sat next to a bunch of old fat sheriffs and police officers. I'm serious. Like, I'm just calling it what it is. I'm old now, so you take the filter off.
Yeah.
I sit next to all these old judges and sheriffs and there are a bunch of fat judges, and me and Jimmy. And we did it, and it is so hard.
I did it 1 year too. I didn't
was
realize
so hard.
Like, I was eating the whole bowl.
You're
in
not
the
supposed
first
to do
Oh my
like,
God,
three-
no.
Yeah, this guy's, he was
Well, no one
eating
told me.
Eating like a homeless guy that when the 7-Eleven lady says you
I was
can get a
drunk.
free drink, and he goes back there
Yeah.
with the Bubba Gulp, and he was eating every
he
bite,
must
the
have
crackers,
such
the
bad
cheese,
diarrhea.
the onion.
But you start out strong because you don't realize how much you're going to eat. So you get the first plate. You're like, oh, this is delicious. And you start eating
Yeah.
halfway
You
through
do a
it. You're
couple
like,
bites.
oh, there's 30 more? Shit.
Then
Crap.
Oh, yeah!
Then I did what every celebrity judge at every competition does.
Just copy off of it.
I just copy whatever Jimmy put, and
Yeah.
then I gave up. I didn't even taste the rest.
Because at some
Doesn't matter.
point,
Because I don't
you
care.
realize, and this is the part that is
Not
tough
my
to-
restaurant.
Thank you.
And I have diarrhea.
This is the thing that's hard for people to understand. But as I was judging a chili cook-off for charity, I realized that my stomach hurt, and I
Yeah.
realized that the wooden spoon or the trophy that goes to the restaurant didn't matter to me at all, and that I didn't care about these people and their chili, and that I just needed to write down any number to get the hell out of this judging thing because it was ruining my gastro.
In fact, you cannot even comprehend how little I care.
Yeah, no.
Like, anybody could win. Anybody. Like, you just put down names or whatever they read them off. I just want to go home.
Anytime there's a voting situation like that, it's always like, all right, well, which one's the first one? That's the winner.
Yeah. And I understand that this is this person's livelihood.
It's not, though. They think it is for that split second, but if I was, if you
the
give me
spoon
10
means
minutes,
so much to
no,
it means so little to me.
it means so little to everybody. If you gave me 10 minutes to rationalize with the person, just to sit down and slap their cheeks and wake up, this means nothing to you. Trust me, trust me, when this is over, you're going to never remember this for the rest of your life. This means nothing. Then they'd be like, oh, you're right, Dan, you're right. I'd be like, okay, I'm glad we had this talk.
It's a GD spoon they bought at Pottery Barn.
And then they had their grandpa use a burning iron to burn their name on it. Literally, it's an afterthought. They don't care about you. They hate you. And your chili.
What does this have to do with crime? I think there's a lot of criminals here.
Yeah, I think so too.
They made the chili.
Just put bars around this place.
Lock 'em up.
Lock 'em up. Lock 'em up. They love that.
Sorry, Dustin. What else? Oh, Hurricane Party. Have we fully announced all?
Everything.
Okay.
It's all out there. Less Than Jake, Agrolites, Pacifier, Supervillains.
Yep.
And about 40 others.
That's a damn good lineup, man.
Yeah, man. 7 stages this year.
You're like covering all kind of, Pacifier, I feel like. Legendary. You're going to get to like some old timers there, supervillains, local guys that are heralded that we love. Agrolites, a band you don't get to see very often with a bunch of studio musicians that are playing together that just absolutely phenomenal. Less Than Jake, one of your favorite bands, a band that you and I worked with for Orlando City that are top 10 punk stage show, I think.
Yeah.
They've got the live action stage show of like their character jumping around.
Yeah.
Who's the guy?
It's our manager. Like I remember we met
They
him.
got
on
toilet
backstage.
paper guns. They've got confetti guns. It's
They
like
do
a
the whole
fun.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a stage show.
That's how it's
great.
supposed to be. Especially
Yeah.
for a festival,
Those
Yeah.
guys have always put so much time and effort into their stage show, and they're older now. I forget how long Less Than Jake has actually been doing it, and I want to say they're coming up on 30.
They have. I mean, since in middle school, I've been listening to them.
Yeah,
How long
it's got to
has
be
Less Than
since
Jake been
'95, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would guess over 25 years for sure, right?
I'm just
Formed in 1992.
boom.
Oh, yeah, 30 years.
30
Exactly.
years.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Crazy.
Unbelievable, and still doing it top tier with the same amount of energy. I don't have that amount of energy.
Yeah.
Same with popularity too. I mean, like I feel like they never really dipped in it throughout that. They've always been that
Pretty
same
consistent.
consistent level of like
Yeah.
they're still pretty relevant in the punk rock scene, just like they were 10
And
years ago.
everybody knows them.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that genre of music, like if you
It's coming back.
ska or it's a genre that didn't really morph into anything. So if you're still playing
can't.
the same music, it's still relevant because it's like, oh, ska.
It's
not
extremely
like,
unique.
It's not like hip hop and like morphed into something completely different than it was in the 80s and 90s, or you know what I'm saying. So it's like you could tell when this came out is dated, but ska is not really dated, right?
Well,
it's like
I mean, it is.
I mean,
it
it's-
can be polarizing. Some people hate it.
it's a dated,
Yeah.
it's a dated, I guess,
Serial
style,
killers.
but it's not like if you hear Less Than Jake play a song that they played back in the 90s.
It's gonna sound the same.
Yeah. And it doesn't sound dated to me. It's like, oh, great.
I think it's because it's truly a unique style of music. There was a reason why I think a lot of people, when they hear ska the first time, why it is polarizing. It's because it's certainly unique music. You're
It's
weaving.
so fun.
It is fun.
It was fun. It's
I've always
huge.
thought it's fun.
90s prom. I mean, ska was the way to go. Everybody's skanking out there.
Do you ever skank?
Not in my high school, they were.
Did you skank?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
I
do.
skank now.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
so does
skanked
Andrea.
hard enough to make the CD player skip.
Yeah, Andrea does it. Andrea will be out there kicking her legs around.
I skanked during Warped Tour in Miami.
I think we all did, right?
Yeah.
I think
The
The
we all-
last Warped Tour in
Might be-
Orlando, I almost passed out in the skank pit because it was at 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, you did
That's
the old like
happening.
golf.
Real Big Fish opened up, and I did not need to be out there.
Is that what they
Almost
call it? A
passed out.
skank pit? Or pit?
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't want to say anything. I'm not getting beat up.
So, Dustin, any other? I mean, obviously, Hurricane Party's in June. Any other events that are notable before that?
Let's talk about the events that you want to do that Paul really is holding you back on.
More fishing tournaments.
Has there been anything? No, sort of serious question. Has there been anything that you or Paul have been like, we want to do this, but
Actually, I have something
Too
that
crazy.
as of today, I've got something in the works that could be a big weekend festival in Sanford, and it would be something along the lines of like a stand-up comedy festival,
okay.
which would
Man.
incorporate like everywhere in downtown Sanford, like a film festival does, the Love Your Shorts does,
Or like Porch Fest does. I mean, you
yeah.
guys are getting kind of
Yeah,
good at
I mean-
implementing all buildings in Sanford can be stages if you want them to
Absolutely.
bad enough.
Yeah, you
and we've
could
been
do-
doing the comedy shows that are doing really well, and I've got some comics out in the West Coast and a bunch of the road dogs out there that are now contacting
Well, a lot
me
of our
wanting to
guys
do
don't
shows.
know this. I don't mind saying it. Hopefully it's okay. But before I even knew you did events, before I even knew you did radio, I knew you as a stand-up comedian. That's how I met you.
That is, yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people don't know that you did that a very, very long time ago and did it professionally and did it at a very high level and then decided, I'm going to do this
Then
thing.
I went into radio.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that. I should have skipped that part.
Yeah. Hindsight, man.
Because it does make sense. You could do the Sanford Comedy Festival and then have multiple shows at all the different venues because there's so many different
A lot of
possibilities
good
there.
venues.
Yeah, and you could at that point bring in some really big acts too. I mean, if we opened it up to do it as Aspen Comedy Festival. It's huge like that, where all the places have different venues going on and different stand-up comics. So there's an idea that we threw on. So we're always thinking of new ideas and new things we can do out there. That's
just
every
like
day.
The like crawfish boil. And
That's
all,
April 24th. Yeah, last year that was us sitting around going, you know what we should do? Get some crawfish.
Yeah, and but I like how you guys do it because you're like, hey, how can we make this affordable and you get your money's worth and it's a good time because you're able to do it. You're not some giant corporation where it's like the margins. You're like, hey, let's just do this, make it bring people down. Who cares about nickel and diming? Like, let's just make it a value. So, and you guys have even done
the same way that you guys we talk about. It's like we want to do as much stuff we can for free. Come out and enjoy the entertainment. There, like with the crawfish boil, you can come hang out and watch the music all day. Supervillains playing, a couple other guys, and then you pay for the food. But the event itself is pretty much always free.
Yeah, and so that's what you guys do it right. So any other notable events before we go?
Yeah, Crawfish Boil is the other one, April 24th. Tickets are going on sale after this weekend for that. So you'll have you can pre-buy VIP tables. Beside that, it'll be walk up, buying by the plate kind of thing.
Yep.
The big one is going to be the battle on Sunday with the food trucks. That's going to be an awesome day. Everybody's already coming to Mini Masters, so we don't really have to talk about that.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Awesome. And this is the reason why we are doing our project the BDMs know about in Sanford is because you guys got so much cool stuff going on.
It's really
in
fun.
fact, Dustin came by and
it looks awesome in there.
yeah, thank you, man.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Tom and his wife have been busting their ass to put together a.
And there was an issue with
Sanford
pillowcases yesterday, but I think it got resolved.
Oh,
What happened?
Oh, the pillows.
Don't talk about it. It was a whole thing.
We have we're going to be talking about it because our beds and our mattresses and pillowcases are sponsored, and a BDM and his company sponsored them.
Dude, I sponsor your pillowcase.
My wife.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
Dude, that cool. My wife's like, have you felt the pillows? I'm like, no, I didn't take them out because my wife took them out of the box and stuff. Everything's brand new, by the way.
Yeah.
But she's like, it's cool on one side and hot on the other. It's like,
my God.
He's like, the cooling gel works. I'm like, no way. She's like, I swear to you, I thought it was a gimmick, and she's like,
Oh, I need one of those.
Cold on one side
And hot on the other. Oh, Dom's here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Right as we're literally wrapping it up.
Dom, what
I'll get the blue mic.
Get
The
on
blue-
mic just to
blue
say
mic.
goodbye because we got to wrap it up.
Bros.
we got a couple minutes. How you
Sorry,
doing,
I
Dom?
am so sorry.
It's
I
not
have
fine.
I had this Loco Moco going on at my house.
What's a locomoco?
It's two Salisbury steak patties, right, on a bed of rice with a duck egg on top of it, like soft, gooey.
Are you just telling us about your lunch?
It was like a full-blown Chopped episode going on at my house, and I was at the judging portion, and Dustin texts me, "Hey guys."
Well, you're doing a judged eating competition.
No, I'm just saying it was like my kitchen. I was like.
He was high as hell cooking.
Yeah,
high as
that's
hell.
what
He's
happened.
pretending he's on Chopped. He's so high, he's pretending on Chopped. And then reality called and said, "Hey, you got something to do." He's like, "Oh, the Locomoco was great."
I got halfway into it, and then Dustin was like, and then I was like, okay, crap. So I was like debating on, do I just rush over there or eat this beautiful meal with my half-naked fiance in front of me?
I'll see you later, boobies and Locomoco.
You should have just stayed home with the Locomoco.
I shoveled a couple more in their mouth, and I had to take a huge bong rip, and I came here.
I like Dom's so confident. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm late. I was eating.
What do you want me to tell you?
That's an honest.
I don't have an assistant at this job, okay? I have assistants at my other job. This one I don't. I'm sorry.
You're like, I don't have an assistant to tell me
And then
a time.
you were so confident that we would know what you're talking about. You're like, I was eating a Locomoco.
How do you guys not know what Loco
Of course,
Mocos are?
the Locomoco.
I'm like, what?
That's because you guys are uncultured swine. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I think you make yourself a Locomoco.
You guys hang out in Baldwin Park too much. You need to get out of here. You guys need to go see the world.
Oh my
I had
God.
to grab a smoothie.
delicious.
I am crying. It's so funny.
We should be eating those.
Yeah, I googled it. It looks delicious.
I'm telling you, it was amazing. It was amazing.
All right, we gotta go.
And I'm not kidding you either.
Not
As
to
you
make
walked
it.
in, we were plugging it in.
Yeah, we were.
I rushed. Hey, I think my job's done here.
That's it.
But the chat room is chanting your name, and they're all about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Loca
yeah.
Boca.
I'm serious. Check it out. While you're at it, get some spam. He's
All right, there's some spam in there. All right.
I had so much I wanted to talk to you guys about.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Next time we'll talk about all the bands that Dom's bringing in to West End and being a part of all the events and like including the hurricane party and everything. Speaking of that, right after the show, I'm going to talk to you about some bands because we need to book some bands for our Bad at Business Beer Fest, which is happening the day before Sofa and
The
Suds.
return.
We're bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
And
Kanye West, headliner, non-polarizing. It'll be great.
do you
He's
think
the best.
for an amount of money, like some chic could get Kanye West to perform at his
Oh,
birthday
yeah,
party?
Duncan
for sure.
Like, but what would it cost? What would he do it for? Like
Oh, it'd be a
over
lot.
$5 million?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thi-
because
I thi-
he's worth
Yeah,
so
I
much.
think
5
10
million's
mil.
nothing to
I think
him.
10 mil is the lowest he'd go, maybe.
$10 million.
$10 million.
for
Why
Why
one
doesn't he
chic
just
party.
disappear and live his life? That would be so
He
radical.
won't. No.
If I had that much money, I'd be like,
I would too.
"See you."
Did you get a haircut?
He's mentally ill.
I did, but I didn't have time to even make it.
I
look
like it.
pretty.
It looks
I
good.
was too busy ripping
Oh, you
the
look
ball.
nice. Oh, you look good. You look like Elon Musk. You got the.
We have actually we have a barbershop underneath the office over at West End.
What?
You got a barbershop?
Yeah, yeah.
How the hell do you able to get a barbershop?
Traditions Barbershop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're rad. I
Oh,
love those
okay.
guys. Yeah.
So they were a barbershop before. Oh, we gotta go.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
They're awesome. Radical.
Yeah, we didn't open a barbershop. No.
And Paul has no excuse. Dustin is his assistant. They're in the same office.
The Sanford 2 is here.
Loco Moco!
We'll see you next week.